Guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, bringing you the Tottenham fan phone-in show where we want you guys to come on and have your say, whatever it is about Tottenham Hotspur that you're either loving or annoyed about. Simply grab that membership, come on and have your say. If you already have that membership, guys, the link is up in the community section. So make sure you do click on the link and come on and have your say. And of course, guys, everyone, thank Manscaped. They are the ones that are bringing this episode today. We do have an advert that we will be playing you in due course, guys. So make sure you check it out and also use the promo code. It is up in the pinned chat, and it's also in the description below, guys. So make sure you use the promo code. But look, Jack, how are you keeping, my man?
Yeah, it's honestly the best promo code there is, Dave. A bit of maybe something that we're always wearing, like we said, but everybody, please, come into the community section. The link is in there. We want to talk to you guys before this Newcastle match, even maybe talk about the recent takeover with Newcastle, whatever is on the Harris Army mind, whatever, maybe come into mind this week on the fan show. Please let us know. Please join us in the community section. Looking forward to it, Dave. I always get a little bit wiser after every fan show.
No, 100%. I always do too. And guys, make sure that you do put your thoughts on whatever it is in the chat as well, even if you don't want to come in, and we will get to them, of course. But look, Jack, let's see who we do have in the building. Let's see what Harris Army we have. We have Paul Markey. He says, what a load of numpties we have as selectors and coaches. Again, Lo Celso was a revelation player for Argentina. When will we ever play him in his correct position? Big up, Paul Markey.
He's the Lo Celso whisperer. He's the Lo Celso whisperer.
Yeah, exactly. The Lo Celso enlightener, the whisperer. That's exactly what he is. We need to get you in there, Paul Markey. Dig yourself up, my brother. Hope things are well. Killian Kenny says, big up, David Harris. I can't make tonight's show. When are you live again? We should be live at more or less 9:30 every day this week, my man. From Monday right through to Sunday. Don't worry. The Irish Hotspur has you covered. Big up, Killian Kenny. Hope things are well. Ben Kamayal says, hello. Always a pleasure to be here. Big up, Ben. I hope things are well, Benji. Hope things
Great
are
pronunciation
good
too, Dave. Well done.
Dermot's in the building. Big up, Dermot. Hope things are well. He says, big up, guys. When is Fury, a.k.a. Jack, versus Alex, a.k.a. Wilder, on? Can't wait for that. Come on, you Harris Army. Come on, you Flat Cap Army. Come on, you Spurs. I can't confirm. That will be coming Wednesday your way. Jack versus Alex. I'll be doing I'd say an impossible job when Alex is on, his hosting and trying not to get into a debate with him. So I just gonna have to make sure I leave it all to Jack. So Jack is in the hot seat this Wednesday, guys, and it should be a lot of fun. Trust me. Adam says, "Hope you're feeling better, Dave. Also, I've noticed you're sponsored by a certain popular brand amongst hairy men. You're moving up in the world." Look, as for feeling. Yeah, look, I'm not feeling too good, I'll be honest with you, but man, my spirits are always high. As you can see, I'm sitting here smiling, and look, that's the best way to be, isn't it, And yeah, look, it's a sponsorship for a month, but we need you guys. We need you guys, the Harris Army, get it over there using that promo code to really, really help us out, and so guys, big yourselves up, and I will say, that's only come our way because of you guys. It's not in that what we're doing. It's all because of you, the following. It's very powerful. So big yourselves up, the Irish Hotspur Army, the Harris Army, the Flat Cap Army, and the Dave Army. Big up, Claude Murphy says, come on, you Spurs. And big up to the host. What's the story, Claude? I hope you're keeping well, my man. Adam McFarlane says, we will lose to Newcastle. Typical Spurs. Newcastle haven't won a game yet. Yeah, look, hopefully Dr. Tottenham doesn't come into play, Adam. I can see where you're coming from, that's for sure. But yeah, look, the only thing that's changed is their ownership. They're still a shit team. We still should be beating them, let's be honest. Faz Rafar says, big statement by Spurs if we beat Newcastle away on Sunday. Come on, you Spurs. Oh, you best believe I'll enjoy it, my man. You best believe I'll enjoy it. Big yourself up, Fazzy. Sanuska Ramchunder's in the building. Good evening, guys. Hope you're well. Hope you're feeling a bit better, David. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Harris Army. Come on, you Flat Cap Army. Don't worry about me, guys. It's all about you guys. I hope every one of you are good, lads and ladies. Tango Bin Al-Sheed says, bench Candy Kane. Never bench Kane, my man. Never bench Kane. Claude Murphy says, there would be too much pressure on Newcastle to perform on Sunday, and they would be picked off easily. I see Spurs winning this game 3-0. I hope so, my man. I hope so. Big up, Bryce. He says, good evening. Hope all is well. We're all good, Bryce. Hope things are good with you. Para Miguel Escobardo says, good evening, fan David. Hope you're better. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Harris Army. Come on, you Flat Cap Army. My man, I'm good. Don't worry about me, my man. I hope you're good, Para. The regular says, big up you guys. Come on, you Spurs. Big yourself up, the regular. Kane the long shot says, let's go. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Kane. I hope things are well, my man. Stuart Davidson says, how's it going, guys? We're all good. I hope you're good, lad. Jack Chamberlain says, loving the streams. Big up, Jack. I hope so. I hope everyone actually enjoyed our stream the other day. Me, Jack, and Danny, I really enjoyed it, I have to say. Even coming off, I really enjoyed it. And we will be bringing part 2 to you. Danny can't make, we were going to do it tomorrow, but of course, or unfortunately, Danny can't make it tomorrow. So we probably will have to do it next weekend at some stage. But don't worry, guys, we will get part 2 out. Because we have a lot, there's a couple of good topics there as well.
Still plenty to cover.
How will the Newcastle takeover affect us? Ultimately, they're going to, right now, minus Europa Conference League, we're probably buying from the same pool as them. And they just have more money to get it over the line. You know, they're richer than the whole Premier League put together now. So it's going to be tough. So we're going to go into a bit on how that's going to affect Tottenham. And then we're also going to go in a bit on the Paratici video, Jack.
Yeah, and absolutely going to be breaking that down. I feel like it connects to a lot of things having to do with this club, especially in the case of Levy, but also maybe to get, a bit of that insight on maybe how, Paratici might be planning out this club. A lot of people probably aren't satisfied, that we are going to be trying to build for the future with a lot of younger kind of players. And to a degree, I kind of agree with them. And, but that we are just going to be breaking it down for the Harris Army and just maybe get a bit of our thoughts and feelings about maybe what the future of the club looks like, especially in the context of Levy, but also in the context of, the case of Paratici's video as well, Dave.
Yeah, no, 100%. There's a lot to get through. It's definitely going to be a good show. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's something a bit different that me and Jack to the norm to what we usually do. So I hope you did enjoy it. And I hope you are looking for part 2. Most people that tuned in and watched it after, I know, have said to me that they really enjoyed it and can't wait for part 2. So, guys, that will be coming. Don't worry about that. No, I haven't actually, Bryce. But I will give him a shout, my man. I will give him a shout. Yeah, I'll give him a shout, man. I haven't, though, to be fair. But, yeah, good. I'm going to give him a shout, make sure he's all right.
Good looking out, Bryce. Good looking out.
Yeah, big up, Bryce. Fair play to you, my man. Chris says, big up, Winnie McKenzie. Adam says, Jack versus Alex, heavyweight title on the line, lads. Yeah, look, in fairness, I'm already sitting there polishing it from my last victory. And all I'm doing is just polishing it and putting it back in the press because it's not going anywhere. You know what I mean? It's not going anywhere. Kaguma says, hello, David and Jack. Big up, Kaguma. Hope things are well with you. Dave Tyson's in the building. Big up, Dave. Hope things are well, my man. James Redmond, the topic of conversation could be about Spurs Stadium replacing Wembley as an NFL destination. Even if bum teams visit, the ground looks the part. Feeling every bit a specialist venue. Do you know what? Like, the thing is, right, I actually don't mind, like, our stadium being used for the NFL and everything else. But where I'm at on it is we need to find out
how much that's getting reinvested.
How much of a number of that is actually going back into the footballing side.
Exactly.
Someone needs to find out that ballpark figure and make sure they stick to it. The problem is there's no figure out there. So no one actually knows if there's anything going back in or not. So, look, that's probably another topic, actually, to be honest, to have. So big up, Jamesy, boy. Yeah. Coov is in the building. Big up, Coov, my man, the comedian. I hope things are well, brother. Hope things are well. Who else have we got here? Georgie's in the building. Big up, George. Says Levy started to build for the future 20 years ago. Unfortunately, it wasn't the team he had in mind. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, fair point, Georgie. I hope you're keeping well, my man. And Shamu's in the building. Big yourself up. Hope things are well. And he's just all over a bit of Modric. I presume Croatia are playing, my man. I presume Croatia are playing if he's going nuts. And Ken the long shot says, shame we couldn't see Dave smash the Tottenham boys in FIFA earlier. Ken the long shot, don't worry. We are going to get that sorted out, and we will be bringing it to you. Me and Jack beating the Ben Simeone in the FIFA. Look, me and Jack, we like to think we're the ultimate duo, and I'm never going to waver from that either. Even if we lose, I'm still going to say we're going to smash it next time. But no, look, we'll definitely get it up and running. I think everyone wants to see at this stage. The Irish Hotspur versus We Are Tottenham TV. If it's a YouTube battle to win all day, but let's take it to the football pitch in FIFA. That's what I said. Big up, Kane, the long shot, my man.
Big up,
yourself up. It is a shame. It is a shame. But look, Jack, you know, are you excited about this debate with Alex coming up?
Certainly am. I actually certainly am. To be honest, I'm actually even, a bit shocked because, Alex thinks that I need somebody on my team for this one. He apparently, Harris Army, he thinks that, he's actually tired of debating me, he said. So he wants to add someone else into the conversation, which,
I think he's scared, Jack.
maybe more the merrier, but I think it's more just having to do with, him being scared because I think, if Alex were left in a room with me, he would just be having, stats just being flowing out of every part of him. He'd be too scared, to even, be whispering the name Winks or Deli or whatnot. Probably just be having Hoiby or maybe even put into his real name after I'd be done with him. But big up to Alex, though. I really do appreciate him wanting to do it. Really do appreciate him wanting to do that show. Of course, I probably think plenty of the Harris Army have my back, but anybody that's on Alex's side, too, as well, big up Alex as well, because, he does fight the brave fight, Dave. He does fight a very brave fight, and we'll see how it goes. But, especially coming up against the stats, and especially going against Hoiberg, I mean, someone who I would just say you just never slate ever. I just think it's going to be an easy match, but I am going in with that Tyson Fury mentality, of course.
Yeah, well, look, I have the Panadol at the ready for Alex, the headache tablets, because with all the stats that's going to be coming at him, I know he's a very smart individual, but I don't know if he can handle all them numbers, Jack, and all that information. But no, it's going to be an absolute great debate, guys. It's going to be, hopefully Alex is watching now. Alex, come on and have your say on the fan show. But look, it's going to be brilliant. Look, and as always, Alex is always well received on the channel. Yeah, even though people disagree with him, they disagree with him in a nice and a funny way, to be honest with you.
And he's a class act.
It's very good crack. It's great crack. It's great crack, I have to say. It really is. But look, Jack, I think it's time that we unveil the advert for the sponsorship and why everyone should get over and buy this amazing performance package using the code FLATCAP over on manscaped.com. to get you 20% off. So, Jack, are we ready to let it rip?
I'm ready to let it rip, Dave, if you're ready to let it rip. And everybody, again, head on over to manscaped.com. But I'm pretty sure you want to see this advert first because we'll be explaining to you why exactly you need to get it. And David and I, we even were able to get, the full performance package, given to us by Manscaped. So we've tested it out ourselves as well. We know exactly what it's done to us, how much more confident, how much better I feel about myself, Dave, how much more groomed I am, you might say as well. So we're really excited to unleash it, but we worked very hard on this little advert, and so hopefully you guys enjoy it.
I have to say, though, Jack, the razor, it is unbelievable. It's something like I've never experienced before. There was sometimes, when you're shaving and that, it can be a bit rough or whatever else. This was just a nice, clean, smooth shave, I have to say, and it was absolutely brilliant. Do you know when you get the sides of your head shave and you get that like fresh breeze after you step out the batters? That's what it felt like. It was absolutely amazing, I have to say. And as Manscaped would say, my boss did thank me. But look, let's play the advert, Jackal.
Let's let it rip, Dave.
Let's let it. Oh.
This episode of the Irish Hotspur is brought to you by Manscaped. Thank you very much, Manscaped, for sending us the full performance package.
Gentlemen of the Irish Hotspur, we have bought you the flat caps, and since you trusted us and started rocking that flat cap look, you just cannot seem to keep them ladies away.
So now it's time to bring you the next installment in creating the perfect man.
Now, gentlemen, in order to become the perfect man, the Irish Hotspur and Manscaped have teamed up, and we present you the latest in high-tech precision engineered grooming.
Fans of the Irish Hotspur, Manscaped brings you the 4th generation trimmer, the Lawn Mower 4.0.
Harris Army, as I always say, a well-groomed pitch can make all the difference to your game.
And David, we all know a well-kept pitch can add a few extra inches onto your pass. This 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. That means no more cuts and no more bruises, people. As I found out last night, David, it leaves with a nice, clean, smooth landing strip that added a few extra inches onto my pass.
Well, I know last night my missus wasn't thanking me for the few extra inches. She was thanking Manscaped. And look, it's like having a reliable goalkeeper. With Manscaped, your trophies, they're always in a safe pair of hands.
And speaking of a safe pair of hands, the Lawnmower 4.0's upgraded trimmers, 4000K LED spotlight will now allow me to be able to groom areas of my pitch, David, that the floodlights, I promise you people, have never shined a light on. And the Lawnmower 4.0 even allows you to customize areas of your pitch to whatever length that special someone in your life desires with its additional guard lengths with the sizes 1 through 4.
No matter the look, Manscaped has you covered, whether it's that bald, hard man look or that well-groomed playmaker.
I always try to look like a clean, well-groomed playmaker, David. A number 10, if you will. But did I mention wireless charging? The new wireless charging system uses electromagnetic induction, which can help battery length last even longer. And admit it, people, an unspoken truth of the common man is that a lot of us have been shaving our crown jewels with the same trimmer we use on our face.
Okay, you caught me, Jack. I'll hold my hands up. But from my experience, Jack, even when you are travelling away from home, whether it's that romantic weekend away with the missus or that big weekend out on the town with the boys, Manscaped has got you covered with this lovely leather travel bag.
Ladies and gentlemen, Manscaped have truly gone above and beyond this time. I never would have thought I would have needed these goodies until now, but I promise it's a must-have. And ladies, why not treat your special man with his 2 boys and Manscaped's specially scented ball deodorant and toner? And gentlemen, can't tell you how crucial it is to keeping those boys down there smelling nice and fresh.
You've already bought the flat cap to enhance your confidence, and Manscaped only wants to help you even further. So why not take that one extra step and treat that special lady in your life with some nice, smooth boys?
Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code FLATCAP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code FLATCAP at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you.
What are you waiting for? Get yours today. Do not miss out on this deal of the century. Your balls will thank you. Thanks again, Manscaped, for the performance package. Well, there we have it, guys. You know, thank you to Manscaped once again for sponsoring this episode for the next month. Really do appreciate it. And I have to say, I hope everyone enjoyed the ad. Look, we tried to make it as watchable as possible with a few puns and a bit of laughter in there. So I do hope everybody enjoyed it. But I have to say, guys, you have trusted us with the flat cap.
Yep.
In all seriousness, I know it's brought a lot of confidence to a lot of you men out there, maybe some women too as well. But guys, get over to Manscaped. This is the next installment into me and Jack helping you improve your confidence and creating that perfect man. So guys, get on to Manscaped. Use the code FLATCAP and get your 20% discount and get the performance package. I have to say it is truly worth it. Jack, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, everybody. And by the way, if you're looking for that link, it is pinned in the comments. It is pinned in the live chat. Just go right to the top of the live chat. You even can see it in that little blue, marked pin chat. So please click on that link and do put in the code FLATCAP and you do get 20% off plus free shipping. But I will say, everybody, if you especially get that full performance package, it's just the complete one, Dave, because not only do you get, that new grooming sensation, just the new kind of advanced technology, you might say, when it comes to it, because I will tell you guys, like, you get a bit obsessed with all of the grooming. You almost realize you can groom every part, every inch of your body with it. And, that maybe just goes with saying that also it then allows you to be able to, David, add a bit of that nice scent as well, which, to be honest, I feel like has never, been something that I could have imagined, a company could have come up with, the ability to not only help our grooming experience be improved dramatically, but then also to, give us that little extra fritz, that little extra spray, to help it even, smell a whole lot better down there. And we all know we want to be a bit fresher down there. I think we could all improve on that. And like we said, everybody's been talking about, they get their flat caps for these shows. They say, I need the flat cap. I need the flat cap. I'll tell you now, you also need Manscaped. And that's not just coming, just from, David and I's, experience with them. That's really just coming from this experience that I've had on my own day in the bathroom. Probably took, about 30 to 40 minutes to myself in there, Dave, just grooming every inch. And like I said, David, honestly is a package that I really would encourage everyone to get. And I've really enjoyed it.
Well, Jack, they do say, you know, the beautiful game sometimes can come down to a matter of inches. It's the same in the bedroom, my man. It's the same in the bedroom.
And we do have a trial run with them as well. Again, you get 20% off plus free shipping. We do really hope to continue this partnership with them, but we do need you guys to come through for us here. And of course, you've already done so much for us, the Harris Army. But if you could help us out just a bit more, and if you're willing, maybe get something for, you know, get something for your mister, you know, maybe get something, you know, for that special someone in your life, I would definitely recommend it. And it also helps David and I a lot more. And then we can continue with this partnership with this great company.
No, 100%. And look, the only reason why we got it is because of the power of you guys.
Correct.
And you know, the only way we keep it, again, is the power of you guys. So look, you trusted us with the flat caps. The moral of the story is that we don't steer you wrong. You know, we do not steer you wrong. So guys, get over there, you know, and use the promo code, and you know, get yourself set for the next while with the performance package. And big up Spurs 72 says, evening David and Jack and the chat. Big yourself up. Who else have we got in here? I'll just take a couple more before I get
a lot of people really seem to have loved it in the comments, everybody. A lot of people really loved the advert. They were saying the puns were top quality, Dave. You know, also plenty of people, really, everybody really do appreciate that you enjoyed it. David and I did really want to keep it as entertaining, as, you know, as funny as possible for you, but it's also completely truthful, you know, with our experiences of it and what we do believe, you know, in the package as well. So I would just say, you know, it is, you know, to a degree, David and I's best work for a reason.
No, 100%. Big up, David. He says, "Hi lads, good to see you. The sponsorship you got. Big up, David. Appreciate that, my man." Stuart says, "Got to have a bit of banter." Wesley says, "Wow, congrats on the sponsorship, guys." Yeah, look, like we said, it's only a trial run. You know, we're calling on you guys, you know, to really help us out. The regular, big yourself up. Kev Williams. Exactly, Kev. They've changed your life, man. They've changed your life. You know what the next installment is. Get over there to manscaped.com, my man. Ken the long shot, big yourself up, man. I really appreciate that. And let's see who really enjoyed it. Yeah, a lot of people. Big up Mary McGee. I hope things are well. A lot of people seem to really be enjoying it. So big yourselves up. Look, big up Kuva here, my man. I really appreciate the support. Says, I know we would like the new signings, but I'm not looking forward to David bending over and showing us that new Brazilian. Look, honestly, lad, you know, it's fresh, my man. It's fresh. Look, not only do I have a Brazilian, but I've got the ball skills of a Brazilian, so it's a win-win situation for me.
Went for the number 10 look, Dave.
I've got the double Brazilian Jack going on. The double Brazilian. That's what I would say, Kuva. But look, maybe you want to see Jack's Brazilian. Who knows? But big up Kuva, my man. Jack, you know what I'm saying? Kuva.
No, I mean, like I said, and, you know, Kuva, I did go for the well-groomed playmaker look. Maybe Kuva, you would go for that bald hard man look. Really wouldn't recommend that. You know, like I said, it's kind of a bit more like a Levy look, you know, maybe kind of a Zidane look. I wouldn't go for that. I would go for that classic number 10 where, you know, you're just nice and well-groomed, you know, and every little inch is just cut to perfection. So that's what I would go for, Kuva. That's what I would go for personally, if you ask me. But I know that you would know what to do with it. I certainly know. And also as well, you know, again, guys, it's too easy. It's too easy to use. It's honestly way too easy to use as well. So you can go for whatever, you know, playmaker you're going for, a number 8, a number 10, whatever you're going for. Maybe the hard man midfielder like a Højbjerg, you know, but please, guys, really do appreciate also the support and also appreciate everybody who's been enjoying that advert as well. Really do appreciate it.
No, big up, Kuva, my man. Really appreciate it. And David says, do I get broad shoulders like Jack in that photo? Yeah, lad, if you use the razor, you know, once a week like you should be,
your confidence just grows. Your confidence just grows, David.
It's the workout you need, my man. You know, everyone just needs that workout. But big up, geez, we have loads of people. ATX7 Gaming, Chem, Mehmet. I'm not going to say that name because I think it's one of them dodgy names. He nearly caught me. You know who you are in the chat. Your name is Mike. Lightwork says, Tyson Fury, Gypsy King, best fight in years. Unbelievable fight, my man. Absolutely unbelievable. Do you know what makes it so exciting? That the two of them can just knock each other out at any given moment, my man, you know? And they're both specimens. Like, what's Fury? Like 6'9" or something like that?
Yeah.
285 pounds. Fury or Wilder, I think, what, 6'7"?
6'7" and about 30 pounds less, I think, like 230 or something.
Unbelievable. unbelievable fight, I have to say. Light work. It was a great fight. I really enjoyed it. Jack, do you enjoy the fight?
I really did, especially I will say if anybody checks out Tyson Fury's also like post-match interview as well, or post-fight interview, excuse me. Class act, like really a class act. The guy has a lot of words of wisdom that I feel like a lot of people can certainly live by. The guy is very, very humble at the end of the day, which is quite surprising considering that momentous victory. He was actually quite humble about it. And as well, I do think he has a lot of words of wisdom just about life in general, Dave. And I really did gain even more profound respect for him just from his, post-fight interview alone. I mean, really class act.
He's been a class act ever since I started following, man. He's always been the underdog and he's always rose to the occasion. Big up Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, if you ever tune in, my man. Kane the long shot says Kane is the only one. Kane is the only Harry we want here. Couldn't agree more, Kane.
Definitely so.
And yourself. We want you're the we want you here too. You're the other Kane we want here. You and Harry Kane, my man. So pick yourself up, lad. But yeah, I couldn't agree more. I don't even want to go and ripping in on the poor lad anymore, to be honest with you. I'm just glad we don't have to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, definitely so. Definitely so, Kane the long shot. But that's the only Harry I want now. It's certainly the only one I want. It's the only one we need at this rate as well.
No, it is. But big up Kane the long shot. I really appreciate it. But look, guys, we are going to start getting on some guests. But before we do, make sure everyone has absolutely smashed that like button. Make sure everyone obliterates that subscribe button. If you want to come on and have your say and you're already a channel member, the link is up in the community section on the channel. Just press the community section. Click the first link that's there. Come on and have your say. And guys, why not help us out with a super chat or two? It is badly, badly needed. Just like Kuva, just like Karen the long shot, just like Light Work, guys. You have no idea how much it really helps content creators who do not have that long-term sponsorship. Look, me and Jack are just trying to pave a way in an industry where you'd say people are probably already miles and miles ahead, So it greatly helps the channel, I have to say. It really does. So big yourselves up, guys. Look, I know not everybody is in a position to do it, so don't worry. I will bring up everyone's comments on screen as much as we can. Do not worry about that. I've got people covered. I'll be honest with you, I'm not really going to be saying too much today after this. I'm a bit sick, as you can tell. My voice isn't the greatest, so no singing Robbie Williams for me tonight. But look, guys, we will start bringing on the guests. But first of all, the Lightwork says, is Reguilon off with the buyback clause to Madrid? I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's just a waiting game. I think we'll have to sit there and wait and see. You'd say it's probably a possibility because Madrid don't have that much money, So I think it's just a waiting game. Hopefully it is just paper talk, Jack.
Yeah, hopefully it is just paper talk. They do have Ferland Mendy, who I think is a world-class left back in his own right. I know he's been dealing with a lot of injury troubles, I believe, that fullback, but he has done very, very well for them. But it is definitely a point of concern just because Marcelo's getting very, very old. Not the Marcelo that, is near and dear to this channel, but the other Marcelo is getting very, very old at this rate. And then I think after that, it's pretty much only Ferland Mendy and as the other fullback. So it is kind of scary to think that maybe that would be probably the one that they would go for, considering we know Madrid are big spenders, but they're not allowed to be big spenders anymore. And I don't know. It is unfortunate, but hopefully maybe Reguilon, he seems like he's found a bit of a home here. It seems like, he enjoys, the fan base. He certainly works very, very hard for us, even in his worst matches, does work very hard for us. So hopefully he can remain loyal.
No, hopefully so, because I really like him and I really want to keep him. Sorry, guys, but look, enough from me. You don't want to be hearing from me with my sick, croaky voice. And a lot of people would probably say, yeah, I'm happy Dave can't speak because I'm sick of listening to him. We can't shut him up. So look, let's bring on the first guest. Let's get him on. And it's the main man. It's Dermot himself. Dermot, my man, how are things?
How are you, lads? Congratulations on your sponsorship. Very well deserved.
No, I appreciate it. Look, hopefully the ad didn't bore anybody. Hopefully people enjoyed it, That's what we tried to do with it. But look, Dermot, my man, what do you want to talk about?
I think the Newcastle thing I'll take on from Saturday. And where we're going to be left behind. Newcastle are going to be ahead of us.
Right.
And it's got to be down to Levy now or Lewis now. They're going to have to spend big. Because if we get left behind, we're going to be 9th, 10th, 11th. So
Do you feel like they're going to be going for a lot of the same kind of players, as us in the January market as well as the summer market, Dermot? That's kind of one of our big concerns.
Yeah, well, money, they'll have no object to money now, so they can go wherever they want.
Pay any price.
Yeah. I mean, if PSGs want to sell a few of their players, they can name the price Newcastle were paid.
Mm-hmm.
And Levy's just left us in a state of where we've always been for the last 20 years. Nowhere.
Yeah, certainly. So do you feel like what makes it especially scary is, in the case of the new Newcastle owners, Dermot, they're going to try to, get to the top as quickly as possible. They're going to also, maybe not run the club to a degree for profit, like obviously Levy does. Do you feel like then that's kind of a bit of a scary situation for us where, we're just kind of fighting against a very formidable foe, you might say?
It is. I mean, they're going to do the same as Man City. They're just going to spend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worried about the consequences because they've got money there to cover that.
Mm. And there's no financial fair play to... Yeah.
No. And Levy had the chance with Poch. And I hope he sits in his room somewhere in his darkest moments and regrets what he did and sacking Poch. Because he should be having nightmares over that decision.
Yeah. Because be in a whole different place.
Yeah, I mean, we were 2 or 3 plays away from a championship winning side. We really were. I mean, if we bought, I think, another striker, a midfielder, and I think it was a left back or a right back, because I can't remember, was it Kyle Walker went the season before?
Correct.
We needed to replace him. And I think if we replaced him as a central midfielder and another striker, I think we would have won the league the next season. And if Poch then knows Levy's not going to spend, that then goes down to the manager. If the manager says, "Well, I can't be bothered," that's going to go down to the players. And who's left behind is us, the fans. We're the ones that pour our money into the club, and it doesn't get reinvested in the right areas.
Do you feel like then, I think there was a bit of rumors that Levy, in fact, was one of maybe the first owners. There's some rumor that he was one of the owners to complain to the Premier League, to complain to the institutions that run the Premier League, about the takeover. Do you think that might have to do exactly with what you're talking about, which is, him realizing that he's regretting all of this, a bit of hindsight for him?
Levy would complain about his own mother cooking him the wrong dinner. I mean, Levy will complain about anything. I mean, if a black cat walk across the road, Levy probably complain about that. So it makes no difference. I mean, Levy is not the right owner. Never has been, never will be. Joe Lewis is probably in some island somewhere, can't remember which day of the week it is. Probably doesn't even realise how much money he's got in his account. So he doesn't know. So, do you know what I mean? We've got 2 people that own our club that haven't got a Scooby what to do. They're more interested in NFL and boxing, and we're Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. We're not Tottenham Hotspur or the other sports. We're a football club, as Dave has said, and time again. Firstly, we're a football club, and we should be treated as a football club.
Yeah. Two questions for you, Dermot. Is the first one is: do you think Levy is probably one of the first ones to kind of lobby to the Premier League, and that is because it will force him to spend the money, and if he doesn't, a lot of Spurs fans, I think this further, as much as I hate to say it because I don't ever want it to happen, but the further Spurs fall, the more pressure will be put on Levy, and the more I think people will start to question Levy. But do you think that he was one of the first ones to lobby against it purely because he knows that they're now going to have to spend more money, which he doesn't want to do?
Yeah, he knows that. He knows he's got to invest in the team. And I mean, we've got a squad now, but the squad's not as good as it was 2 or 3 years ago. He should have sold Dele Alli last season. You could split that squad in half and say half of them need to go. But he's doing what Mike Ashley done at Newcastle, give them all big contracts. Leave them quite comfortably there, sitting there, getting their 100 or 200 grand a week. And he doesn't want to spend money. And Joe Lewis doesn't want to spend money, so why should they? So complain away. But it needs us to do this properly and get them out. I mean, we all shouted we wanted Sugar out, and look what we ended up with.
Yeah.
sometimes you got to be careful. The devil, I said, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't.
Yeah.
So, but we can't keep going as a club. We cannot keep going on like this because this is 2 trophies since 1991.
Yeah.
And it's for a size of Tottenham Hotspur, that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You had a follow-up question, Dave?
Yeah. Just the you were mentioning there. What was it? Sorry, my head's gone. The NFL and stuff like that.
Right.
Do you think the biggest problem is that no one actually knows what figure is coming from this stuff into the football side of things, aka transfers put towards transfers and wages and improving the the position on the pitch? Because at the end of the day, it was a football club first, and that's what's the football club has allowed them to be able to build the stadium, and it's been the foundations for everything. But do you think the problem is that we don't know what figure is coming from these events back into the footballing side of things?
Yeah, I agree with that because we need to know what's going to be invested back in.
As a Spurs fan, Dermot, if you were, say if they said to you, look, we'll put 20% or 25% back into the football side of things, would you be against the NFL and concerts and all that sort of stuff? If it was a guaranteed 25% or 20% or whatever it was, if it was guaranteed to go back in, if there was a ballpark figure put out there.
If I saw them doing it, then no, I wouldn't have a problem.
Yeah.
But Levy said things in the past which has never happened. If we saw it happening, then I wouldn't have a problem whatsoever.
Yeah. Just because we don't know. We don't know.
And I mean, you look back to when Scholar was in charge, when we nearly went bankrupt.
Yeah.
Do you know, between 1981 and 1987, between 1981 to 1984, we were in 11 times at Wembley. I think that's right. In that time sort of period. I mean, we're a big club. We've always been a big club.
Yeah.
And the way we haven't been a big club for years. And it's heartbreaking because, I mean, I love that club. Been supporting them since I was a little kid. And, it just tears your hair out. Because you see the club being run badly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they're back Putch, we'd be in a different place today.
Do you feel like then that's where is he capable of having such hindsight? Do you feel like, Dermot? Like maybe there is a part of Levy that, is actually kind of kicking himself, for how this is all transpired? Or do you feel like he could be possibly just, maybe just too ignorant to, even acknowledge that?
I think he's too ignorant to acknowledge that. I mean, you would have to be.
He would never admit it publicly. But
no, he never will. And if he does privately, then we'll never know. But why would Poch want to come back if he's still in charge? Because he knows it's going to be the same thing again. You know what I mean? It needs new owners. And he's asking for, 3.2 billion for the club? Nobody's going to pay that unless you're rolling in. And
I mean, not even probably that Saudi consortium group would have, paid that price. They probably would have still seen that as, too high of a figure for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a fantastic stadium. We've got fantastic training facilities. But we haven't got the team to match it. And as just under supporters trust, I mean, for the work they do good work. But theirs is useless as anything. I mean, they don't come out, they say they want a meeting, and they don't come out and keep us fans informed what is happening.
Yeah.
And it's just badly run from top to bottom.
Where do you stand on the supporters trust, Dermot?
I thought they were very quiet with the European Super League to begin with. They made an awful lot of noises. But they're the ones supposed to be doing the protests. They're supposed to have the club's best interests at heart. So where's their protests against the owners?
Yeah.
They do nothing. And I don't trust them.
Yeah.
I have no trust in them whatsoever. And I just don't know where to go because we are a good club. We are the best club, in my opinion, in London. And I know they've got like Chelsea probably above us, but I think we're the best team in London.
Yeah.
And we just need the right manager and the right board to back him, and we'll be flying again.
Well, look, the government fan-led review is coming up, Dermot. You know, what recommendations would you like to see them make?
Good question.
I think it needs to be governed properly. There's too many loopholes in the system. Them loopholes need to be tightened up. It needs to be done fairly, that every club has a set amount to spend.
Yeah.
You have a set amount to spend, you spend it. Transfers are going through the roof. And do you know what I mean? It has to be governed properly. If it's not governed properly, then we'll be doing this all day long. And it has to be governed properly. Cut off all the loopholes and just take it from there. But till we get proper owners in, we're always going to be the same.
Yeah.
And
No, I could agree with that, lad. I agree with that. But look, Dermot, I think you're after sparking a bit of a war here. We have a few super chats, so look, we're going to get to them. Bob Spur TV says, big up, lads. The NFL or the revenue it generates isn't the issue. Yeah, it's the shameful promoting and the bigging up of an American product while the football team suffers is the biggest issue. I couldn't agree more with that, to be honest with you, Bob. I agree with you. Basically, what I was asking is just, you know, if we were guaranteed a certain percentage, are people okay? You know, because the biggest problem is no one knows how much is actually going back into the football side of things. And I guess what I'm saying, Bob, is like if people were guaranteed a percentage, you know, if they came out or they had to answer, you know, how much of a percentage of that revenue that they're generating is going back into the football side of things. Was the question I was asking, Bob. But 100% I agree with you. Look, I can get it, bigging up the American product while the football team suffers. It is the biggest issue. You know, and look, Bob, you know what they're going to come back and say, well, we need to do this to be able to put stuff on there, put back into the football side of things and everything else. And that's where you think, okay, well, then if you are going to say that, how much? Tell us, how much? You know, but big up, Bob. I hope things are well, my man. Jack, what do you want to say to Bob?
Yeah, Bob, I think that was kind of the scary reality of when they built that stadium, is that we knew that they said it was going to also be used for other reasons. And if we don't really know how much of, you know, the concert revenue to the boxing fight revenue to the NFL revenue, if we don't know that is going to be put back into the squad, is going to be put back into the transfer budget, going to be put back into the institutions that make this club great again, it's just another smack in the face to us, really. Like, it really simply is. And that's what the scariest thing is. Maybe, sure, like, it is kind of great to see such a packed stadium so often, especially during the international break, when you would say that, you know, it is just going to remain empty and sit there empty. But at the same time, since we've been seeing this meteoric fall, you know, or asteroid fall, you might say, you know, from where we were and what, you know, Dermot was describing, we were just a few players away from winning the league, just a few players away from maybe even getting another Champions League final, you know, appearance. And then we've just fallen so horribly since then. And when they built that stadium, do we really think that is all going to be invested back into getting us back to the top, or is it just going to be invested back into the pockets of Levy, or just maintaining the stadium, or whatever it may be? It's impossible to know. And I think that's what's scary, is what we might think it's going towards is not the right things.
Yeah, but it also comes down to what I was saying to you the other day, though, lads, is, you know, that the fact that they had two bites of the cherry. You know, they had going into the new stadium to put the right furniture in it and make it an easy transition. Didn't do it. They had the Champions League final. Didn't do it. You know, and now when you're looking at it, City, United, Chelsea, now Newcastle, you know, Leicester spend a lot more than us. Arsenal, you know, although they are shit, they don't spend it wisely, to be fair to them. But, you know, the gap to be able to challenge and for the top four is getting bigger now. It's getting bigger and bigger with some of these, with the Saudi owners coming in for Newcastle. It's only going to be a couple of years before they're up there, you know what I mean? Up in top four, challenge for the league title. They're richer than the whole Premier League put together, so they can buy what they want. So right. It's a massive problem. It's a massive problem. But big up, Bob Spur, my man. Really appreciate the support, brother. Hope things are well, my man. I hope things are well. Spurs 72 says water off a duck's back for Levy. Yeah, that's true. That's true. As far as Pochettino, dinner time, lads. Catch you on the other side. Keep it 100. Big yourself up, my man. I really appreciate that. Spurs 72. If you are still tuning in, what you having for dinner, my man? I always love to, listen to what people are having for dinner. It makes me hungry.
Maybe it's a $1 ramen turned into a $13 ramen, Levy style, you might say, Spurs 72. Just you only add, a few hard boiled eggs, a bit of scallions or, cilantro maybe. And then, you can turn that $1 ramen into a $13 ramen, totally overcharge yourself. That's what I would say, turn that ramen into a Levy ramen, Spurs 72, but big yourself up. And do let us know. I am always, especially when the tummy starts kind of grumbling a bit, Dave, I want to know what the Harris Army has to eat.
No, 100%. But big up, Spurs 72. Thank you for the support. Really appreciate it. You have no idea how much it helps. And same to Bob. Really appreciate it, guys. And then going for the hat trick, it's William Kelly. He says, why would someone pay $3.1 billion for us when they can pick loads of clubs in the Premier League for 200 to 300 million? Sad to say, bye-bye to my dear Tottenham till these owners are gone. William, look, again, I was kind of saying the other day is exactly, why would you come in and pay 3.5 billion for Tottenham when you can pay 300 million for Newcastle? It already has a big stadium there. It's already a sleeping giant. All you got to do is put the furniture in there and the right manager. It's a lot cheaper for them to do that. And then the profits and the rewards they'll get from it is going to be a lot more than paying the 3.5 billion for Tottenham Hotspur. The thing is, like I was saying as well the other day, William, I don't know whether you agree or not, man, but if they were going to sell or they had any intention of selling, it would have been when they had everything brought up and the plan and permission and everything else accepted for the stadium just before, they could go, before they go with the go-ahead. That's when they would have sold. Not now, because who's going to pay the 3.5 billion for it? You know what I mean? So they have no intentions of selling it, none whatsoever.
Right. Yeah. And honestly, when you think about it as well, like they just said, if they were to give a price, they probably gave a price that just was absolutely absurd, that price that no one would ever match. And like David has said, there are a lot of sleeping giants out there that certainly, could just be taken up for a much, much cheaper fee, William. You also then consider that, if it's only 300 million that they got it for, that probably then they could reinvest back into the stadium that needs a lot of fixing, reinvest back into the squad that obviously needs updating, as well. They could update the training ground. They could do a lot of things. And then they would still have money left over before they would even reach that 3.5 billion fee. So that's probably as well where Newcastle, the fee was just so low for that Saudi consortium group that, they would probably, if they invested 3.5 billion into Newcastle, they would probably already be, back at the top of the Premier League. And that's, again, just the baseline price here at Spurs. So it's just no one is ever going to dare to match that price. Even if they can afford it, no one is would ever do that because they know it's just a huge overpriced, Dave. Even when I, want to pay for a nice, set of eggs, or something like that, you just sometimes see certain grocery stores charge 400%, 500% more. You just realize, no matter how much, you feel like you want it, you just know it's not something that you want to support. It's not something that you would ever pay the price for. And that's maybe for people like us, that would be a good comparison. It's just overpriced milk, overpriced cheese, whatever it may be. It's just someone trying to make too much of a profit. Someone basically trying to a degree screw over the buyer to a degree, William Kelly. But also maybe that's what they value the property at, and I bet they're not even selling very much of the property either, to the buyer. They're keeping a lot of that property to themselves. So it really is just a raw deal. It's a horrible deal. Yeah, it really is. But William Kelly, brother, really appreciate the support and hope it's shining down under for you, my man. And big up Premier Hotspur TV as well. We'll just take this comment and then we'll keep moving. Premier Hotspur TV says, yes, David and Jack, I keep and will keep banging on that drum about the board. If they don't change, then nothing will need. We need to boycott games and stop spending money in the club shop. Do you know what, Dermot or Si? Look, even the most hardcore Enoch out people, you're just not going to keep them away from the games. They're still going to want to go and have that release, that joy of watching the guys run around the pitch on that white jersey. Unfortunately, you have people that travel miles. Of course they're going to pop in and see a game. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. There has to be a new strategy for it, I think, in my opinion. That's just my belief, because you're not going to stop people from going to the games. It's just not going to happen. I spoke to many people. Why would I give up my season ticket? I understand that some of them have been waiting 10, 15 years to get on it. They're not going to give it up. People that just use that football is like getting down to the game every week.
It's their thing. They're not going to give it up and not go up. So I just simply believe, look, just buying this club stuff in the club shop, that can be done. But stopping people from going to games, I just don't think I don't think it'll ever happen, Simon. I really don't, to be honest with you. Look, I'll be honest with you. I mean, it can leave you out, but I'm still going to go over and watch a game. I'm going to be honest. I hold my hands up. I am. I love Tottenham that much, So I just don't see it happening.
I think it's also, we touched on it, Dave, and we don't have to do it again, but it's like also them kind of taking an advantage. Maybe Dermot will back me up here. It's kind of, they realized that everybody would practically do anything to see Spurs. It's almost like an addiction to a degree, right, Dermot? Where, people will, to a degree, almost pay any price. People, to a degree, will do whatever it takes to get into that stadium. And they just know that. And then they're just taking advantage of that. It's quite sickly and quite devilishly to a degree. They charge the highest price for the ticket, the highest price for the kits. They just are taking advantage of us and our love to a degree.
They are. I mean, if people don't go, there's going to be 100 more people going to take their places.
And they know that.
So, do you know what I mean? This is where the supporter trust comes in. This is where they need to take a stand and get in contact with all the other protests and do it properly.
Correct.
We saw Man United do a massive protest. Now, I don't agree with them storming the ground and stopping the game. That I don't agree with. But it was done properly. Chelsea did it properly.
That's the message. Yeah.
But see, the thing is, though, I know people are saying that's not really the right thing to do. But unless you want people to listen to you, you have to cause a destruction like that, because that's where it catches them most.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree.
Not shown on TV, people not going to the game, have to try and redesignate it, a time for the game and everything else. It hits them there really hard. That's why they took note to United fans. And you have to do something like that if you want to be noticed. Yeah,
I do agree with you. I mean, it's going to have to be something like that, or even walking out at half time, or everyone walking out at, say, half time or just before half time.
Right.
But to leave it, that's not going to bother them, because we need a proper mobilisation of a protest done, and not done on one weekend, done on every home game.
Right.
There every week, leave the banners outside the stadium, do what we have to do. And it's got to be done, and the Supporters Trust has to get in with them. That's what they're there for. The Supporters Trust are sort of like our arm of our body of fans, and they're not doing it. They're not doing it. They're bowing to Levy and the board of idiots that are running Tottenham. I mean, I could call them a lot worse than idiots, but I won't go down that route. I mean, Levy's probably already rung up Manscaped and probably did something with these balls, but that's beside the point anyway. But it has to be off the fans. There has to be one big connection. Until there's one big connection, we're going to be like little splinter groups. One protest here, one protest there. It has to be done properly. And for me, stopping a game, we stop a game. Because we cannot go down another 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years. Right. Because we're going to end up being in a relegation battle. Because he's not going to spend the money. And the players that are there now don't give a shit. Ali. Winks. Dyer. That's 3. You could probably name 10 or 11.
Yeah. That just wanted to take a paycheck.
As much as I love Harry Kane, and as much, David, I agree with you, he shouldn't.
Tongi falls in that boat as well. As much as I like the guy, he falls in that boat as well. We all know he does.
He just wants stuff from McDonald's and Burger King alongside the pitch. I mean, that's all he wants. He wants to play away the voucher here for McDonald's. Come and chase me. But I cannot blame Harry Kane for wanting to leave, because he's more in the background than what we do.
And this is what I was trying to say to people over the summer, though, Dermot, is like, why can't Kane be pissed off at Easy? He has to deal with him on a daily basis, more than what us fans do. You know?
I mean, it's just Kane. I was angry with him how he went about it. I will admit that, and I was pissed off with him. But when you sit down and think about it logically, you can understand why. Yeah. I mean, Levy's been promising for 3 or 4 years, we'll have this. We'll get Mourinho. You sack him before cup final. Yeah. Then you get Ryan Mason in. Under the circumstances, did a good job. And then we search for God knows how many months for a new manager, and then we get Nuno in.
Yeah.
Harry Kane must be there scratching his head and thinking, what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah.
But see, this is where Daniel Levy screwed up, and it hurts me because I could see it coming. I don't want to say I told people so, but when you have the players like, I'd say Hugo Lloris or Harry Kane, who are on, I would say, their last chances of believing in something, and you've got to believe in Mourinho, you've got to continue on that project. They always knew they were running risk. With sacking Mourinho and bringing in someone else, they knew they were running risk of upsetting and unsettling Harry Kane and potentially him wanting to leave. They knew that was going to happen. So again, he wasn't thinking of the best interest in the club when he done that. I know people say, okay, well, you shouldn't do it based on one player's decision, but he's your best player.
I mean, with Mourinho, he was looking at Mourinho's bonuses. If he wins us a cup, we'll have to pay him an extra couple of hundred or a couple of 3-4 million here. With Saka now, we'd have to pay him that.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's the fans that are stabbed in the back.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't want Mourinho sacked. I was actually delighted when he came. I was upset Poch was sacked.
Yeah.
But I was delighted Mourinho came in.
Yeah.
But you got the likes of Aurier, who stormed out at half-time in one of the matches.
Yeah.
Wings couldn't hit a cow up the backside if it was painted a bullseye on for him. Tongai, just like McDonald's and Burger King, he should be just working now instead of playing for Tottenham.
Yeah.
Get a better discount.
I mean, the quickest I've seen Dyer move was when he jumped into the stands and trying to beat up a fan who attacked his brother. I mean, that's the quickest I've seen him move.
Yeah.
I mean, you watch the documentary. Danny Rose has Juventus come in from me, or AC Milan. I mean, he's done well at Watford, and he's done a lot for the under-21s and a lot in the background he should be commended for. But, again, it's just everyone thinks they're bigger than they are, and they're not. Yeah. Nobody's bigger than the club.
Last question here, Dermot. Last question, and you're speaking the truth here, brother. Do you feel like, to answer William Kelly here, do you feel like maybe this was, a stadium that was built for pure revenue reasons? It wasn't built to, reinvest back into the squad like we were told?
Yeah, we were con completely. I mean, I love the old White Hart Lane. And there's many of the Harris Army on here, including you and David. I mean, the many times I went to White Hart Lane, the atmosphere was just special. It was something that you could never replace. And I feel by knocking down that stadium, building this big stadium, yeah, it's great. We can hold more fans. I feel the soul's been ripped out of the club. And that's the hurt part. The soul has been ripped out of that club.
Do you know what, Dermot? You're 100% correct there. But I believe the Spurs fans are that great that if we had something to get behind in that stadium, that would be absolutely bouncing.
It would be.
The noise out of it. The noise. Imagine what we were doing with 34,000 at White Hart Lane. Imagine now with the 68,000 that it holds. Imagine how bouncing it would be if Spurs fans had something to get behind.
That would be such an intimidating stadium to go and play in if you're on the away side.
You're right. You're right.
It really would. I mean, you look at the Man City game. Once we've got the best fans in the world. I don't care what anyone says. I mean, back in the 80s, we were the biggest away fans, apart from Arsenal, I think, coming out of London. I mean, we'll go away 15,000 when it was all standing.
Wow.
I mean, we are a great club. We're the greatest club alive, and we will rise again.
Yeah.
There you go, Dermot. That gave me shivers. That's very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. I'd love to hear that.
Well, look, I think I have to say a brilliant call, Dermot.
Well done,
really
Dermot.
Enjoyed it, my man. I really appreciate it. And great call, I have to say. Pleasantly surprised, Dermot. Very, very happy. Good call,
I just want to say one thing before I leave. I know I said to you offline about this, but I found this Rich's owners list. And as I said on there's like Newcastle 320, PSG 220, and so on. But LA Galaxy are on that list as the 8th richest club in the world of 8.1 billion. but Newcastle have 320 billion. That's what they're worth. That's just mind-boggling.
We're going to be fighting a losing game here. We are.
We are, and it's going to. Well, if Elon Musk is watching, or Amazon, or Nike, please come to our club and rescue us.
No,
and if Levy, if you stroke your white cat again, I will send in James Bond and get rid of you very easily.
A big up, Dermot. I really appreciate the
legendary
time,
Dermot.
And please, everyone, go to Manscaped. I'm going on there now. After I got on here, I'm going to get my bits in. Subscribe, get the hits in, super chats in. These good lads deserve it. They're the best on YouTube.
I love
wow,
it,
Dermot. Not
you know,
you used all your words perfectly tonight. Honestly, every word you said was absolute truth.
Look, when you get it, let us know what you think of it. Jay, want to hear people's opinions. I really enjoyed it. It's really helped me, I have to say.
Well, that's great. On that point now, I think I'll let him go. Come on,
Big up, Dermot. Big up, Dermot. Big up, Dermot. It's really legendary. Well done, brother. Well done.
Everybody, get in the comments. Show Dermot some love. Show him how much you love him, guys. Absolutely brilliant call. Couple of super chats to get to. And
I just wanted to quickly, before we get to that, Dave, I know Lazy 8 Nick Lazy, someone who really does help us out a lot with this channel. He is celebrating 4 months. And with his 4 months, Dave, he's saying we can't put it up on StreamYard, but I'm just going to read it. He says, Reggie isn't going anywhere. He's loved at Spurs almost as much as I love getting 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com using the promo code FLATCAP. So big up, Lazy 8. Big yourself up, Lazy 8. Reggie's going nowhere. He's going nowhere. Big yourself up, Lazy 8. Big
up, Nick. And guys, if there is anyone that gets that, it's a little perk you get, I think, for on your membership, guys. After so many months and that. So if you do get that, just put it in the chat, because sometimes me and Jack don't see it. So just put it in the chat and let us know what you want to say, and we will get to it. William Kelly says, we were covered by Levy with the stadium. It wasn't. Oh, I think you already read this one with Dermot, didn't you, Jacko? Yep. I'll just quickly say, look, I couldn't agree more, William. I couldn't agree more. It seems like that. Look, we were sold a dream. And I think the dream was on paper, and we were out running around in torrential rain, and yeah, I think it's gone, man. I think it's gone, to be honest with you, William. But
Dermot says we got conned. That's what it was. We just got conned by that statement. So William Kelly, you probably would agree with that, but really, William Kelly, big yourself up. Dark Sun G is in the building, as people like to say. The legend himself, he says, today Korea faces Iran away. Please, no injuries. Only a few days away before Spurs face Newcastle away. Please, son, stay healthy for the sake of Spurs. Yeah, honestly, like he's Mr. Reliable. Dark Sun G. That's what I'm calling him. And maybe that's a bit of an insight onto what Stats with Jack is going to be. That's going to be one of the segments there. Sonny is old Mr. Reliable. He's the guy that we depend on when we need somebody to step up most, when we need that goal, when we need someone to create something out of nothing. It's Sonny. There's no other player I would say at the moment than Sonny at the moment. And he's practically like, he's almost, his weight is more than gold, Dave. Really. The guy is just, he's more precious to us than, a diamond gem. And that's what I would say, Dark Sun G. That guy, I would say, just keep a posse around him. Make sure that he doesn't even fall down the stairs. Make sure he doesn't even twist his ankle, when maybe just walking out of the stadium. He needs to be taken care of at all costs.
No, 100% protect him at all costs. Look, put 4 bodyguards around him on the pitch when he's running with the ball if you have to. I couldn't care less. But Dark Sun G, my man, you're on Sun Watch for me and Jacko, so yeah, you're on Sunny Watch. So please do let us know how he gets on, if you think there's any niggles or anything, that he could be carrying from the game. And best of luck. I hope you absolutely stuff Iran. Big yourself up, Dark Sun G. Good to see you in, my brother. Good to see you in. And thanks very much for the support. Top man.
Get that manager out of there, Dark Sun G. Get that manager out of there, because he's not playing Kong and Lee, which we know is a problem. That is a big problem. So get that manager out of there. William Kelly saying, exactly, Davey. No intentions of selling. We are a pure cash cow for them. They are parasites. We need to get rid of them right now. I mean, it's just pure wisdom right there from William Kelly, I would say, and just pure facts to also maybe what Dermot was saying. William Kelly and Dermot really vibing with each other, I would say, with some of these comments. I mean, what do you say, Dave? I mean, they have no intentions of selling. Both singing off the same hymn sheet, Jack. Both singing off the same hymn sheet.
Absolutely. Look, this is the problem. People need to find out what the number is that's going back into the football side of things. You have to find it out. Otherwise, they can just keep doing what they want with that stadium and stuff like that. And look, in terms of getting rid of them, there are movements out there, 100%. There was a protest there at the NFL game the other day. Not many turned up, and look, apparently a lot of people said they were going and didn't turn up. And look, at the end of the day, you have to get numbers out, but maybe the people, maybe we have to go different ways about it. Maybe there has to be a new way of going about it. Maybe I don't know. Look, like I was suggesting the other day, starting something on social media, putting polls out there, gauging people's opinion, because I wouldn't say there's an actual Levy in people, but they're not as pro Levy out as other people. But there's still stuff that gets to them, that annoys them about Levy. Find out what pisses them off. Get a united front, a united slogan, and the most common thing from the polls, and get behind it.
Try to reason with them.
Yeah, 100%, William. But look, that's the only suggestions I have. I want to hear other people's suggestions. Put them out there. This is what it's going to take. You have to take everyone's suggestions on board. But big up, William Kelly, my man. Really appreciate the support. Kieran Key says, big up, lads. Since the UEFA Champions League final, we have been hung over. Levy lost his head, not back in Poch nor Jose, turning the club ground into a tourist attraction. Yeah, look, and this is what I think. Look, everyone's been saying it, Kieran. It's cheaper to sack a manager, pay him off whatever it is they need to pay him off, and get the next one in, rather than bring in a manager, buy the players that he needs to implement the system, and then, so it's just cheaper to get rid of the manager, unfortunately. And it's sad because they're not operating on football decisions. They're purely operating on business decisions. And the business decision is it's cheaper to sack Poch, it's cheaper to sack Mourinho and get in a new manager than what it is going out and getting in the players that these guys need to be successful. Right. The thing is, we can't even say, we just need the right manager anymore. We've had two successful managers in Pochettino and look, Jose Mourinho, everywhere he's gone, he's had success. But if you're not going to give them the players that they need, at the end of the day, they're running on a business decision because it's cheaper to get rid of the manager. They're doing whatever's cheapest, and they're not making it based on a footballing decision. And that's what's killing this club. What would you say to Kieran Keys, Jack?
I mean, to a degree, I feel like Levy was riding off the coattails of, of Poch in such a way that he actually forgot, even that he needed to run the football club. He forgot that, he needed to invest into the side because Poch was performing miracles, turning water into wine practically, with what he was doing, because we've seen what these players have turned into, the ones that used to be great under Poch. Now look at some of these players now. I mean, for Christ's sake, Dave, we don't even know what some of these guys are anymore. We don't know what a Ben Davies is. We don't know what a Harry Winks is. We didn't know what some of these other players were now. And you think about it, Poch made those guys look fantastic. And that's what maybe Levy got, to a degree, probably just confused by, got, almost to a degree, just became complacent, thinking that he had such a great manager there that, turned these fantastic, I don't know, Dave, like he just, it seems like he just fell asleep at the wheel and just only wants to, make business decisions from here on out. And that's basically the biggest issue at all, is just he didn't know that Poch was actually performing miracles. And maybe to this day, he still won't admit it, but I'm certain he probably is realizing that now, that Poch was performing miracles. And what's actually needed is proper investment into the football side, proper investment into the squad, because you can't rely on managers to perform miracles. You just simply can't, especially at the level of a club we're not supposed to be relying on a manager to do it. You need to rely on the players, and your players are supposed to be the assets of your club, not the stadium, not the stands, not the jerseys, not the kits, not the club shop. It's supposed to be the players. They're supposed to be the assets that make the club push forward.
No, 100%. Couldn't agree more there with that, Jack. And same as you, Kieran Keys, big yourself up, my man. I really appreciate the support, brother.
Legend. And
Simon, look, 100%, I agree with you. But look, you've seen it yourself. Even the most scenic out people are still going to go to the games. So it's you're just not going to be able to not get people to go to the games. It's that simple, my man. I'll be honest with you. I'll go to a game. And it's the truth of it. People are just not going to avoid games because they know the seat's going to be filled regardless. So it has to be something else, Simon. There has to be something else, my man. William, but I do agree with you, though, Simon. I do agree with you, and everyone do get over and check out Premier Hotspur TV, and I hope you enjoyed the fight the other night, Simon. William Kelly says, yes, we will rise again, Dermot, but not in my lifetime.
William
Yeah,
Kelly,
look,
you got plenty of years left. You got plenty of years left, William Kelly. Come on, at least, stick with us. Maybe just stick with us. But I know William Kelly. I see where you're coming from, Dave. He's been tortured long enough. He's been tortured long enough, and he doesn't see the light. And that's what's horrible, is that a lot of fans don't see the light. They've watched it fade away. We're not getting closer towards it. We're moving further away from it.
yeah.
You're on mute, Dave.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Look, I can understand the the pessimism, and I fully get it. But just do what I do, William. Just get out, smile, and sometimes you just need to ignore all of it and just love the club and grab the cockerel, give it a big hug, wrap yourself up in a scarf or a flag, or kiss the jersey. Sometimes you just got to do it, to realize what it is you fell in love with as a child and continue to support all the way through to adulthood. And that one thing that's always been constant in your life, people come and go, the clubs don't. You stay with the one club throughout your whole life. So sometimes, my man, I just try to remember why I fell in love with the club. And that's what keeps me going through some of the dark times, William. But big yourself up, brother. Really appreciate the support. But just give that cockerel a kiss, my man. Just give it a kiss. Just give it a kiss, William. You know you want to. You know you're dying to. But look, let's bring on the next guest. Let's keep on moving. I'm just going off to put a bit more Vicks on my chest. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's going to be Chris joining us.
Evening.
For this one. So Chris, how we keeping? I mean, whatever you want to address. I know you got plenty of, talking points as per usual, but, what are you interested in talking about?
First of all, congratulations, lads, on your sponsorship. You lot well deserve it. So well done on that one, man.
Appreciate it, Chris. Appreciate it.
Oh, and Jack, love the advert, mate. Love the advert. Absolute quality. I think I might have to get my Manscaped now as well.
Yeah, Chris. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We got a lot of help.
Definitely.
We got a lot of good help from people, and it was fun to make. But yeah, with a great company like that, we knew we had to give also them the right kind of advert, because with a product like that, you got to keep it humorous. You got to keep it
definitely.
kind of lighthearted, and it's exactly what we went for. So I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Well, you lot deserve it. All jokes aside, you lot deserve it. So
appreciate it, brother.
I have to say, you lot 100% deserve that. But you know what? I was just listening to what Dermot was saying, about the club and everything. I echoed this a couple of weeks ago when I went on for my mega rant about Arsenal, that Levy's forgotten the fans, and that's what it just seems like. Still, that he hasn't opened his. Levy just does not open his eyes and see that the fans are the ones who make the club, not his little profits. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, for me, Daniel Levy, he's forgotten who makes that club, and that's the supporters. All those Tottenham supporters go week in, week out, paying the season ticket costs, buying their merchandise, buying all the Tottenham goods. But see, for me, it's difficult to say. I love the club as much as everybody else, but you see, for me, Daniel Levy just has lost all eyes open on the actual club itself and what they're actually doing to the club. Because evidently, now Newcastle got all that money, we're going to be left in the shadows. We're going to be left well in the shadows.
Do you feel like is Levy maybe seeing like kind of a moment here where he's actually going to fall further and further away, from even competing, and he's starting to realize that, with the new takeover, that he's now actually scared? Do you think he's actually quite scared of the new takeover?
Not at all. As long as he's making a profit, he doesn't see the bigger picture. As long as Enich and Levy and Lewis are making all that profit, they don't see the bigger picture of actually what's actually going to happen. We're going to fall further away, where every top club is going to buy players. Man City, we know, are going to spend fortunes. Chelsea are going to spend fortunes. Man United will probably spend fortunes, and now Newcastle are going to do the same. Whereas we're just going to be falling down the pecking order.
Yeah, definitely. Are you a bit worried that also Newcastle, to a degree, will also be taking away, plenty of the players that we want to be going after, right? Because they can pay any price, but also because they have a major rebuild that needs to happen. So they'll be looking at, some of the same player pools will be, right, Chris?
Definitely, because they will pay the price that they're asking for, and Levy will still be asking for that discount. And I'm sorry, but you know what I mean? Like, all jokes aside, Levy will still be asking for that little price deduction. But Newcastle will just say, You want 85 million for that player? Take it. We'll give you it. Levy will be saying, oh, yeah, you want 85, I'll give you 75. And they'll be like, nah. Well, Newcastle offers us 85, we'll take it.
Well, maybe they might see Levy, doing that price negotiating Newcastle. They catch wind of it, and then they'll just throw in that price that they asked for originally, and then we'll just get stumped.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Right.
That's exactly what's going to happen. And we're going to be falling so far down the pecking order where teams are going to be like, nah, you know what? Tottenham don't want to pay the price. Newcastle got the money. They'll pay it. We'll sell.
I don't know, Chris. Like, it's starting to become just way too worrisome when you think about it, especially when it comes to the January window. I mean, all the scout reports I've been doing, Chris, and I'm looking at all the places that I know would match the Levy budget. And now maybe with the new Newcastle, takeover, I'm starting to think that, he's going to be to a degree just outbid, not because they'll be putting in a bigger price, just because we know exactly what you're saying. He's just going to be only negotiating, trying to get the best deal possible, try to save that whatever extra million, whatever he spends it on, probably on himself. But when you think about it that way, Chris, like, I just feel like a lot of the players that we know we need rebuilds for, a lot of the players that will fix this club, he's just going to be too caught up in trying to price negotiate and try to get the best deal possible.
That's exactly it, Jack. I just think he's going to start trying to do price negotiations. And teams like Man City and Newcastle don't need to negotiate the prices. They'll pay whatever they ask. If they want to pay up, they will pay the money. Money's no object for them now. Whereas Levy's penny pinching is gonna be our downfall.
Especially when he's now competing with a bunch of clubs like we've been, slamming home here, that don't penny pinch, that don't need to penny pinch. In fact, maybe the point is also, Chris, he's the only major, club owner that is still trying to run it, as a business, run it as a profit. Whereas, like, at the end of the day, now the new competitors, the new owners, they're not running it for profit. They're running it, to maybe make their image in another country a lot better, or, make, their the sports washing, case as well. He's now going to be competing against guys that, couldn't care at all about making a profit. It's about actually making, an image of theirs, a whole lot better. And that's, not Levy's game at all. It's almost polar opposite spectrums when you think about it.
Definitely, most definitely. I agree with you 100%, Jack. For me, all these teams like now, Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal, not Arsenal, Newcastle, are going to spend all that money. And Daniel Levy's going to be like, but you know what? I don't really want to spend that. But
that means
one less Bahama
vacation with Lewis, yeah.
I told you I'd rather sink Joe Lewis's boat with Daniel Levy on it. That'll be the easy answer to it. But at the end of the day, he's valued our club at £3.5 billion. Nobody in their right mind's going to pay that. No. He's basically priced it out of a sale. As Dermot was saying, basically, David, right now, as Dermot was saying, you could buy the Premiership club like Burnley, Southampton, or any of those clubs for 400 million. Who's going to pay that 3.5 billion for us?
But the thing is, Chris, why would Leave and Enoch want to sell? It's prime real estate. It's in London.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Everything goes on in the UK. Concerts, fights, everything. A lot of things. It's all London central. It's in London. Why would they give it up? They're not going to. They're not.
Because at the end of the day, David, for them, it's just the profit, and more profit for them. At the end of the day, they don't see the bigger picture, David. As I was saying to Jack, I said it a couple of weeks ago when I went off on the mega rant about Arsenal, that Daniel Levy's forgotten the fans. And this is exactly what he's done. He's forgotten the supporters. He's forgotten the ones who spent on the merchandise and the season tickets and the shirts. We've got one of the most expensive season tickets. We've got the most expensive shirts. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. For Daniel Levy, he don't care because he's making a profit of it. He don't give a toss about the club, and neither does Joe Lewis.
They're creating generational wealth off it. Why would they?
Exactly. That's exactly it. That's exactly it for me. And I'm just saying to Jack, we're going to go end up on a slippery slide all the way down because all the other clubs above us are going to be investing constantly. And we're the only ones going to be sitting there. Oh, maybe we should offer the 75 million, but do you know what? I'll offer 50 instead.
Do you feel like it's also maybe because it's the property as well, like Chris saying? Obviously, David just hit home on that, but I feel like it needs to be really understood that. And I maybe to a degree, in the last few months have only become more awake to that, is they've been making a bunch of secret moves on property because they know that they will continue to generate revenue that way. Like David is saying, if you're in London, it's the best real estate there is. And that's why the price is set so high. The price is set so high because they know it's the best real estate to have.
That's exactly it. That's all it is for them. They know the real estate's there and they're going to make a hell of a profit on it. It don't matter what the club want. It's what they want themselves, but the profit they want to make. And the Tottenham Football Club has been left behind in that because it's NFL, boxing, concert, Skywalk, Levyland, you name it. That's all taking precedence to the club.
You can abseil down into your seat at the next match you get to, Chris, when Levyland arrives.
You can zip line into your seat.
Let's take a few of these super chats and then we'll get back to the discussion. William Kelly says, I'll always stay true, guys. I know you will, William. I'm just trying to put a big smile on your face, but sometimes you just got to give it that big kiss. You just got, you just got to realize how much you love the club, William. Sometimes you just got to do it. I do it at least once a week. I just sit there on my telly with the Spurs crest on, with the flag around me, and I just embrace myself in it for half an hour. And, it gives me the energy to keep going for another week. But big up, William Kelly.
Just got to let out a big, come on, you Spurs, or just let out a big, I love Tottenham at the end of the day. And it makes you feel a whole lot better, William Kelly. But we know that you're always staying true. We definitely know you're staying true. I mean, with what you've gone through in your life, William, I feel like you've taken so many punches, taken more punches than Wilder even took, the other night. So that's what I would say, William. And I know you're just going to continue to get back up, Tyson Fury style.
No, 100%. 100%. But big up, William Kelly, my man. Awesome. Says this should be a wake-up call. If the owners refuse to invest in come on, you Spurs club, is it time to change the club period? This applies to every club. Awesome. I'm not sure exactly what are you on about, creating like a hybrid club like United done with the anti-Glazers thing, where they created like United AFC or something like that? Is that the lines you're talking about? I'm not 100% sure. If it is, I will not get behind that hybrid club, because Tottenham Hotspur is the club I love. And that's it. I will always stay true. I will go through the pain no matter what. If that's not what you're talking about, and you're talking about getting the owners out, yeah, I agree. Is it going to happen? Probably not, for all the reasons why we stated. But look, even if you can get reform, change, put pressure on them, find out a bit more information off them, basically just get them to be more transparent with things even. But look, I agree. Look, a wake-up call. Yeah, it is a wake-up call. It is a wake-up call. Jack, what would you say to Osmo? And first of all, actually, Osmo, it's good to see you, my man.
Good to see you again.
I haven't seen you in many chats at all lately on any of the Spurs content creators, my man. So it's good to see you, and I hope things are keeping well, buddy.
Yeah, I echo the same statement. I really hope you're keeping well, Osama. Same here. I haven't seen you in a while. Just hope everything's all right, at home. Hope everything's maybe all right, maybe with work or whatever you're up to these days. Really do keep yourself up. At the end of the day, we do love every single one of the Harris Army, even when they take a bit of a dip out. We still always welcome you back in. It's the most welcoming army there is, the most welcoming one. But it is a massive wake-up call. And to a degree, being such a young guy myself, Osama, I'm getting woken up by continual revelations, you might say, when it comes to this club. And I'm only going to continue to learn more, and I'm only going to continue to be made wiser by fans like Dermot, by fans like Chris, as well as David, obviously, to the side of me. And it is a massive wake-up call. Every day is starting to become a massive wake-up call for us. It's, like I said, Asama, we're drifting actually further away from the light at the end of the tunnel. And, we're not getting closer towards it. And if you do mean changing club, maybe you can clarify it. I mean, it's just now way too young to be doing that. And also at the end of the day, it's just something I just could never bear thinking about, even driving down the price of the club. Or sorry, I meant like driving down, to relegation and I just can't watch that happen. I just can't see it happen. So yeah. I am going to continue to suffer through it. I don't want to suffer through it, but I know plenty of people have suffered a lot more than I have. So I still have plenty of years of wisdom, to go. So I certainly am not going to be thinking on those lines yet, but maybe we misread you, Asama. Maybe we misread you.
No, but big up, Awesome. It's good to see you, my man. It is good to see you. And then before we take this one from Maria Williams, I just want to say, guys, I know there are people that have texted me and they want to be added into the Irish Hotspur group chat. Guys, I will add you in. I've just been sick the last 2 days. As soon as this passes, I will get straight onto it and get you guys in. It's if there's anybody else out there that does want to be in on it, just give me your number, send it through via email, send it via Twitter, or now Instagram even.
Message me as well if you want to. If you don't want to message David, I can add you in sometimes, maybe a bit quicker maybe than David can. David has a whole lot on his plate, especially, like I said, David needs to recover from this, bit of a head cold at the moment. So, please just message me. Just message me. I'll take the load off David a bit as well.
No, but guys, and same thing as well, as always applies, and I'll always say this every couple of months or every couple of weeks, that if there's anybody, that's feeling down or anything like that, struggling with mental health, feeling a bit lonely, no need to be. My everything you need, to contact me or contact Jack, it is in the description below. Just get in contact and have no problem chatting to people. No problem whatsoever, guys. But Maria Williams here with the super chat says, what you need to remember is that other clubs, and she meant to say rich, have rich owners and failed. It has to be done right because there is financial fair play. So we all need to chill. Chris, I knew I was going to let you have this one. I knew you'd have something to say. So go on.
Listen,
let me know what you have to say.
Have Man City abided to fair play rules? Have PSG abided to fair play rules? No, they've spent so much money on player transfers and nothing happens to them. So really, the FIFA financial fair play doesn't apply because it don't matter to them.
But you know what they were doing, though, Chris? They were putting in sponsorship money into the club, but wasn't actually sponsorship. You know what I mean? It's just them feeding their money into the club.
Yeah, exactly.
As a sponsorship, it's all the loopholes they use. Financial fair play does not exist anymore. Maria, that's my opinion. Financial fair play does not exist. PSG have gotten away with it. City have gotten away with it. United spend 100 million, 200 million every summer. Chelsea, you know what I mean? For me, I don't think financial fair play even exists. And especially because it comes from FIFA and half of them were arrested and caught with taking backhanders and everything else. Look, financial fair play was brought in to keep the government out from regulating football and to keep them out from how much money they were actually making and keep them away from getting a slice of the pie. That's what it is. But now the government are trying to get involved and they're using the fans with this fan-led initiative and recommendations. Look, me personally, I would like to think it is for the fans, but it's not. It's because the government wants a slice of the pie now because of how much it generates. And that's my feeling on it. But I agree with you. Look, a lot of rich owners have come in, failed. Look, when Mike Ashley come in, he did spend a shitload of money first when he first came in. It didn't work out. And that's when he consolidated everything and then tried to make it, a profitable business for himself or whatever else he was trying to do with it and not spending the money, basically. Look, I agree with you, but honestly, it's not going to fail. It's not going to fail with these Saudis. It's not. It's not.
Exactly.
Look at City. It hasn't failed with City. It didn't fail with Chelsea.
Yep.
Look, I understand that there are cases, 100%. And look, Maria, I kind of agree with both parts of your statement, to be honest with you. But I just don't think financial fair play exists anymore.
Applies.
It's been dead. It's been dead a long time. And when Man City got away with that slam dunk case that, UEFA had against them, UEFA had all of the evidence, all the legal, power against them. And yet they still got, some whatever side deal they did, whatever sort of way that the lawyers of Man City were able to get, sneak themselves out of it, slither themselves out of it, you might say. It really was just that, to me, was the final straw. That, to me, made me know that financial fair play didn't exist because UEFA had a slam dunk case right in front of them. And then now with PSG, I mean, they practically spent multiple countries' GDP on their team recently. So there you go. I mean, it's just not a thing anymore, unfortunately. And UEFA have been defeated. They didn't put up a big fight, but they have been defeated on financial fair play.
Yeah, and it's the Saudi pension fund they're using as well. So God knows how much is actually in that. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what I was saying, David. As far as fair play, FIFA fair play goes, it makes no blind bit of difference because they're always going to find a loophole around it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because no matter how much they spend, they're going to say all sponsorship deals, TV rights deals, another deal. So Man City escaped it with a little minor fine. And that's probably what happened with Newcastle if they spend that much. A little minor fine ended up in one installment.
Yeah.
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 Maria Williams, to a degree, if we brought in a much richer owner than Enoch and Levy, to a degree, they could misinvest, a lot of the money. But I think maybe what the point is that when you do have, practically a blank check, to put back into the team, that doesn't really matter how many times you miss. You are going to be able to find and build up the team more than Levy and Enoch certainly have. And I think that's where people feel about it.
And you know what? I was just about to say that, Jack. You were spot on. It doesn't matter if they buy 4 right backs over 2 years. You don't work out, they're just going to keep replacing it until they get one that does work out. And they have the money to do so. So the chances of them missing, it's very, very slim, if not none, I think, in my opinion. But Maria Williams, I really appreciate the support. Great topical topical debate off, I have to say, Maria Williams. So really appreciate that. Thank you so
Big
much.
yourself up, Maria.
Everyone else, make sure
Definitely.
you're smashing that like button. Make sure you're obliterating that subscribe button. The big push for 5K is on. If you do want to come on and have your say, for channel members, the link is up in the community section. Anyone that's not a channel member, just press that join button, get on it and come on and have your say. Usually I do throw the link out there to non-members. Tonight, I'll be honest with you, I'm a bit sick. I won't be doing that tonight. But come back next week. After all, of course, members always take priority. So the members, once the members are there, we'll throw out the link and get a couple more on maybe after next week. And guys, look, like Maria, like Awesome Ma, like Kev Williams, like Dark Sun G, or like William Kelly, like Bob Spur today, like Spur 72, Kieran Keys, Kuva, everybody. Why not get in a super chat, guys, and help support me and Jack on our journey? Like I said, we're competing with some big dogs out here who are run by big companies, you know what I mean? That have all the financial backing they need. So, guys, we're just trying to compete. Not compete. I'm not talking about any of the Spurs YouTubers, but, some of the bigger people out there, who we're talking about, guys. You see them everywhere on YouTube. So it's a massive help to mine and Jack's small operation that we have going here, So if you do have it, thank you so much and really appreciate it. If you don't worry. We know it's a big bad world out there. Sometimes that last $5 of the week, it's to cover bread and milk for you and the kids and whatever else. We've all been in that situation. So don't worry. We'll keep getting up your comments as we keep going. Do not worry about that. But big up Maria Williams. What a great conversation starter, I have to say. But look, Chris, anything else you want to say, my man?
Apart from I'm sick of the Geordies. Oh my god!
I was going to say, Chris, maybe give us a bit of that insight on, maybe being up there yourself. You think you said you might be working from home this week. Is that a relief?
Yeah, I am. A relief. I was getting so sick of them. I was giving it back to them though. I was just saying, listen, you're going to be the richest club in the championship, so it's all good. And they were like, yeah. I went, yeah. When you're bottom of the league still, aren't you? You ain't signing any place to January or at least August, so you'll be the richest club in the championship. At least you'll win a title.
Relegation side of all time.
Yep, definitely. But Jack, I tell you, when they said I'm working from home, I went, I'm going home. I went, I'm working from home this week. Right? Yeah. I went, yeah. I'm taking my laptop with me. I'm going home. Can't handle it.
Take the desk from work as well, Chris. You might need to hide out a while.
Oh, it was bloody horrible.
I just want to say it to Chester in the comments. Nobody's making excuses for Abramovich, my man. Nobody's making excuses for Abramovich. Don't worry about that. We all know about that guy. But sorry, keep going, lads.
Well, exactly. Nobody makes excuses for Abramovich. It's just another one of the oil fiends.
Mm.
To be honest with you,
to a degree.
Exactly. So no one's making excuses for the rich owners. We're just stating the fact that our owners ain't got that business acumen to actually want to invest in our club.
Yeah.
Because they're too sidetracked with their own little investments before they are the actual football side of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe I think that's a brilliant comment actually from Portugueser. Do you feel like, what's also a bit worrying is that Mike Ashley didn't spend any money whatsoever, Chris. And so, to a degree, they can kind of just start spending willy-nilly, and like David was saying, they can buy 4 right backs, they can just practically just get a whole new squad, maybe not this January transfer window, but certainly by the summer, they might just have a whole new squad, ready to go. And that's just because Mike Ashley didn't invest a dime back in.
See, with Mike Ashley, he did in his first season or 2 seasons when he took over Newcastle. He did invest the money, and it all flopped on him big time, right? So after that, he went on to his worse than what Daniel Levy is. But now Mike Ashley's finally gone after weeks and years of the Newcastle supporters in that stadium protesting week in, week out. Not just one protest every 6 months. It was every week they were at the home game screaming they wanted him gone. He finally backed down and he sold up.
Yeah.
Maybe this is what we needed as our stadium. The fans every single home game just saying it. We want you gone, Levy. We want you gone. Because this is what other clubs have done. And it finally worked. And that's exactly what Newcastle done to Mike Ashley. Because I'll tell you what, up here in Newcastle, Jack, Mike Ashley was public enemy number 1.
Yeah.
The most hated man in Newcastle was Mike Ashley. And it was week in, week out. Every game, home game, they wanted him gone. Every away game, they were screaming they wanted him gone.
Yeah.
So that's where I think our clubs are different. Tottenham, we'll have a set few supporters who will go in week out saying, leave it out. But then it will go silent for a little while until something else goes wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's no disrespect mean to Tottenham supporters. It's a fact.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It is. You're 100% correct there, Chris. 100% correct, my man.
Dave, I'm not meaning to be disrespectful to Spurs supporters, but this is exactly how it is.
No, I know that. No, I agree. But look, as I always say, Chris, you know what I'm going to say to that? Everyone has their own way of supporting the club, you know? And unfortunately, look, you're correct, but it's just the way people are.
It is.
You know? It's just the way of life, my man. It's just the way of life.
That's exactly it.
But hopefully we can put something together, or people can put heads together and find a way of maybe putting pressure on. Can it be done? Look, I'll be honest with you. I'm a big believer in exercising your rights, the right to protest. I'm a big believer in that. But for me, I just think it's going to fall on deaf ears. Just prime real estate in London. They're going to add more and more to it with Levy land and everything else. They're creating generational wealth for themselves off of the club. And you're talking about their son's going to be rich. Their kids are going to be rich. Their kids are going to be rich. That's the sort of wealth they're creating. You know, it's generational. And
exactly.
Unfortunately, I just can't see them. I can't see them going anywhere. Not until they've hit that magic number that they want to reach from it. And even
they've
then,
had 20 years of making profit off us. 20 years they made a profit off us. And it's just increasing. But as I said, for me, I would be dancing so hard if Levy said, you know what, we're selling the club. I'll be the first one to dance. I would actually go down to the stadium and dance on Daniel Levy's car. I would jump on his car and start dancing on it.
Do you know what, Chris? I was going to say this, and I don't know whether you'd actually agree with me, but I actually think people should be looking at Paratici as our saviour, to be honest with you. Because I know people don't want to go down this whole route of going through another long-term project, because we've all heard it before. Believe me, we've all heard it before. But I think, because of the way we're going to end up operating, and it's going down that way where you're buying in players for the future. It's always been that way where you're going to hope they're going to, we're going to develop them into something more class, and then we sell them on for massive money and stuff like that. I think, our only hope right now is Paratici, getting his signing spot on, like I think he has done already. And I think as Spurs fans, we probably should be looking at him as our saviour, to be honest with you, and maybe trusting Nuno a bit more, because, look, we all know they're not going to sanction, the board ain't going to sanction the money to get in the big boys. So we just have to hope that Paratici gets the money that he does get, that he invests it wisely, and he can put a good crop of youngsters together.
I really hope so, David. But now I see this thing about us going into some sort of a business arrangement with Standard Liège.
Yeah, but I think it's one of them. I think they're trying to buy it, aren't they? And it's going to be one of them, like
we're going to be the subsidiary club or something.
Yeah,
like a Leipzig, like Salzburg kind of situation.
Basically, we could bring in young players, put them out there, develop them, and if they're any good, bring them to Tottenham, more or less.
Yeah, and then we can buy them back for cheap, and yeah.
Or bring their players into our team.
Because they won't have to pay. Like, they're not going to charge themselves massive money, are they? You know what I mean? So
exactly,
it's a cheaper way of them doing it. But look, do I agree with it? Probably not. I don't, to be honest with you.
It's a Daniel Levy profit.
I just want them to concentrate on Tottenham fucking Hotspur. I'm not going to support Standard Liège or whoever it is they're going in with. I'm not going to support them. I'm not even going to see how they're getting on with their results and everything. I just support Tottenham. So just concentrate on. And this is another thing, like, why is that even out there in the press? Or why are they even doing it when we're not in good shape ourselves? That really fucks me off. But look, I think that's a conversation for another day.
It's a profit for Daniel Levy.
Big up, my man. Really appreciate the call. I think it's been a great call. I appreciate giving up the time to come on, brother.
Yeah, come on, you Spurs. And I'll tell you what, David, if we lose on Sunday to Newcastle, I'm disappearing out of Newcastle. I'm going back to London.
There you go. Like I said, Chris, just take the desk from work. Just show up to work, pick up the desk, walk out the building with it, and then just say, "I'll be."
Yeah, I'll just stick it under my flat cap, Jack. You know what I mean?
Jeez, you'll
a
be
lot of
able
things under
to
there.
get camel rides around the tune soon.
Oh, don't worry. I've got the camel rides, the old sphinxes, the old pharaohs are going to be there. You know.
There you
There'll
go.
be no Ubers. There'll be no Ubers. Chris will be getting a camel ride to work and back.
Yep, definitely.
Pick
Well,
up
look,
Chris.
Chris,
Most
big up, my man.
definitely. Take it easy, lads. Have a
What
good
a
stream.
legend. Great
And
call.
well done on your sponsorship, Dave.
No, look,
Appreciate it.
I really appreciate it. But Chris, honestly, as I say, like you, you know, and I include you in this, Philip, Brad, Dermot, and so many others, everyone else in the chat, you know, Tin Man 007 there, you have loads of people there, you know, Kuva, Ian Ferguson, Derek Hutchinson, the list goes on, honestly, it'd take me all night to mention people, Ribsy, Dietrich, Kane, you know, there's a lot more there, James Redmond, loads more. Without you guys, it wouldn't have been possible. We're only as
You lads deserve it.
You know, you guys are the ones that are behind everything. People like Manscaped wouldn't have got in contact if they didn't see the loyal following that you guys give us. You know, how much you really promote us, how much you engage with us. So it's all because of you guys, and it never would have happened. And look, it's only a trial run. Look, our hope is that people can use the code, get over there, get the product, get their nice smooth boys, treat their partners. You know what I mean? And you know, hopefully then it can develop into something long term. But look, we'll wait and see. It's good to have it for a month, and it's good to have the recognition. But I'm under no illusions. It's not because of what me and Jack do. It's because of what you guys out there, the fans, do for us. So big up, Chris. I really appreciate it.
Pick yourself
brother.
up, Chris.
Big up, lads. And you lot deserve it, Dave. That's what I'm saying. You lot deserve it, mate. You know what I mean?
Appreciate that, my man. Appreciate that. Big up, Chris.
Right. Let's get the business side of it. Smash a like, get your super chats in, and support the Flat Cap Army, and get your Manscaped in as well.
And Chris, get over to Manscaped, lad, and get your performance package. The missus will thank you.
My hair's already gone, Dave. Look, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's why you got to trim something down below.
It's taken away from that issue having to use the same one on your head, lad. This is a separate baby for them juicy
don't
boys.
worry about that. Yeah, that is true, David. You know what I mean? But I've got my order en route, Dave. Don't worry.
Big yourself up. Big yourself
up,
up,
lads.
Chris.
Take it easy, yeah. See you all next time.
Chris.
Legendary.
Man. I'll see you soon, brother. Thank you. What an absolute call from Chris. What an absolute call. And I'm going to say it for him. I think he might have missed it, but leave you out, Enoch out. I'll get that in for Chris. Big up, Chris. We've 2 super chats to get to. Then we are going to play the Manscaped that again for everybody to have a look. And then we're going to get on Philip. And then we have Brad Matthews lined up. Kuva99 with the super chat says, if Newcastle get relegated before they're able to spend the money, then they will have gone from coal to oil to pure gas in record time. Yeah, look, hopefully it would be nice to see them relegated before they spend the money. But I'll be honest with you, I expect them to absolutely tear the January transfer market up. Because money's no object. You know, every player has his price. They could be quoted something absolutely absurd, but they're going to pay it to kickstart the revolution. And to send out that message, put a price on, we're going to pay it, we're taking your player. So, look, they have a lot of time. You know, get it right in January. They have a lot of time after that to save their skins, and they probably will. But, look, if they did go down, that would be nice, Kuva. That would be nice. Look, in a way, I'm not going to begrudge Newcastle the shit they've had to go through for 14 years under Mike Ashley. You know, they probably deserve it. They probably all think they've won the lotto. You know, they're going to have one big, massive Christmas party this year. And look, it is what it is, but yeah, hopefully they do get relegated before they get a chance to spend it. That would be nice, Kuva. Jack, what do you want to say to Kuva?
I mean, it's very optimistic to think about it that way, but it maybe just means then, you know, Kuva, they're either going to have to bring in the right manager, you know, to somehow do the best with what players they have at their disposal. You know, to a degree, Steve Bruce, you know, has been able to somehow, you know, keep that team up. And it's not a very good team when you do think about it, as much as they do hate Steve Bruce, you know, to a degree, you know, he was able to keep them up even in the darkest of times. But hopefully they get in a new manager. If I were speaking for Newcastle fans, maybe they get in a new manager that can do something a bit better than Steve Bruce can. And then maybe they put in a lot of money in January as well in the transfer window. So, you know, it's you know, if I were a Newcastle fan, I don't know, it's maybe a bit worrisome, but they probably are all maybe not. They probably aren't even thinking that relegation is a possibility now, probably because they're going to get in a new manager and just try to survive the Premier League and then build from there.
100%. But big up Kuva99. Really appreciate the support, brother. Really appreciate it. Brian C. Socrates says, lads, our owner's motivation is definitely profit, but one thing may be in our favour, their ego. It could be hit by the Newcastle takeover and just might spark investment in the team. We live in hope. Come on, you Spurs. Socrates, look, I do have a saying. It's called clutching at straws. And look, do you know what? I hope you're right. I'll be honest, I didn't look at it from that sort of perspective. I find it hard to see. I find it hard to see that it will motivate them. The fact that they've gone lobbying to the Premier League to complain about it just shows to me that maybe, oh shit, Newcastle, now we're going to have to spend that extra bit that we really didn't want to spend. I'm going to have to do more videos to try and appease the fans. Look, it's... in a way, it is in our hands because, you know, how long are Spurs fans going to keep paying to see that crap? You know what I mean? Yeah. How long are they going to keep paying to see that crap? Eventually, that will waver eventually. Well, I mean, you're probably talking if it gets as bad as Newcastle got. You know, it will waver eventually and people will stop paying to see it. But I don't know, man. I don't know, to be honest with you, Brian. I'd like to think that the ego might make them spend more on the team, but I don't know. I don't think so, Socrates. I don't think so, my man. But I hope you're well. Hope things are good with you. And I hope life is good, my man. At the end of the day, no matter what, we love the club. And this is what I represent every day I wake up. So big yourself up, Socrates. And I know you do too, brother.
And Socrates, and maybe just to add further truth to it, you know, I would say it's a very wishful thinking. But at the same time, I know, Socrates, you're just trying to find all the right ways, you know, to maybe think that there could be somewhat of that light at the end of Plato's cave, the light at the end of that tunnel. So there you go, Socrates. And to a degree, maybe they're just having a bit of a fear factor. Maybe now it's kind of woken up, Levy. Again, I don't think this is the case. But if I were to, you know, on that line of thinking, maybe they are getting a bit scared, you know, and realizing that there's going to be even further pressure on them. There's going to be even further unrest with the fans. And also as well, you know, just continuing to not be near top four, to continue to fall outside the top four, top five, top six, even, you might say, will only probably add a lot of pressure on their backs and make them even a bit, you know, jealous of, you know, to a degree of maybe how other teams are doing in comparison to them. But I think that's very wishful thinking. But at the same time, I like how you're trying to come up with solutions. As always, Socrates, he's always trying to come up with solutions.
Well, look, you know, I would say he's our philosopher of the Harris Army, Jack. You know, the win or learn. We don't lose anymore. We either win or we learn, Jack, which I absolutely love that. You know, he's the philosopher. But Socrates, my man, big up, what a legend, and I hope all is good with you, buddy. Hope all is good with you.
Legend.
And he says, I'm definitely clutching at straws, lads. When you support since the 80s, you have to dream and hope. Do you know what? I'm exactly like you, man. I just live in hope. I dream every night of you know, drinking out of that Champions League trophy, the Premier League trophy, you know, having my 2 weeks to go missing to celebrate. You know, I dream of it all, my man. I dream of it all. Look, I always believe that, you know, before I die, I will get to see it. You know, I will get to see it. God isn't going to keep that from me. I've done too many good things in my life for God to say, no, Dave, you're not going to see that. I'm definitely going to see that. Just when? Hopefully I actually am in a condition to celebrate, I suppose. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, Socrates. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. But big up, my man. Big up. What a legend. But look, Jack, you know, I think it's time. You know.
I was going to maybe digress and say, everybody, you know, maybe who's already seen this advert might as well maybe then take this time to head on over to that link that's in the pinned comment, you know, because if maybe you enjoy the laughs, you know, you want to see it again. But if you don't, I would just say maybe then this is the perfect opportunity to hit that link and use that code FLATCAP for that 20% off plus free shipping. People that are new to the building, I think you'll really enjoy this advert as well. We do need to get people to use that code. It's not a guaranteed sponsorship, you know, forever, everybody. It is something that it's a bit of a trial run with Manscaped, and we would like, you know, all the support from the Harris Army. We've already, you know, received plenty of support from you guys, but if, you know, it would just help even further with how much you guys have already brought us up. And so I would say people have already seen it. Definitely take this opportunity then to hit that link.
And it's
in
all
the description
about
as well.
It is all about confidence, guys. At the end of the day, we only want to help you. We've brought you the flat caps. You trusted us. And I know since people have started wearing them, they're walking around with the swagger. They've got themselves a new jacket to go with it. And I know that. Look, it's brought me confidence, for God's sake. You know, I'm not ashamed to admit it. It's brought me a world of confidence. I'm walking around with cigars in my mouth, walking around shopping, thinking I'm Don Corleone, for God's sake. But guys, Manscaped only want to help to improve the confidence. And me and Jack want to help you. That's why we've teamed up to bring you the next level of confidence for you guys. And that's getting that extra few inches on the manhood. So look, let's get into it. Here you go, guys. Use the code, get over to Manscaped and get yours today, guys. Honestly, it'll bring you so much confidence.
This episode of the Irish Hotspur is brought to you by Manscaped. Thank you very much, Manscaped, for sending us the full performance package.
Gentlemen of the Irish Hotspur, we have bought you the flat caps, and since you trusted us and started rocking that flat cap look, you just cannot seem to keep them ladies away.
So now it's time to bring you the next installment in creating the perfect man.
Now, gentlemen, in order to become the perfect man, the Irish Hotspur and Manscaped have teamed up, and we present you the latest in high-tech precision engineered grooming.
Fans of the Irish Hotspur, Manscaped brings you the 4th generation trimmer, the Lawn Mower 4.0.
Harris Army, as I always say, a well-groomed pitch can make all the difference to your game.
And David, we all know a well-kept pitch can add a few extra inches onto your pass. This 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. That means no more cuts and no more bruises, people. As I found out last night, David, it leaves with a nice, clean, smooth landing strip that added a few extra inches onto my pass.
Well, I know last night my missus wasn't thanking me for the few extra inches. She was thanking Manscaped. And look, it's like having a reliable goalkeeper. With Manscaped, your trophies, they're always in a safe pair of hands.
And speaking of a safe pair of hands, the Lawnmower 4.0's upgraded trimmers 4000K LED spotlight will now allow me to be able to groom areas of my pitch, David, that the floodlights, I promise you people, have never shined a light on. And the Lawnmower 4.0 even allows you to customize areas of your pitch to whatever length that special someone in your life desires with its additional guard lengths with the sizes 1 through 4.
No matter the look, Manscaped has you covered, whether it's that bald, hard man look or that well-groomed playmaker.
I always try to look like a clean, well-groomed playmaker, David, a number 10 if you will, but did I mention wireless charging? The new wireless charging system uses electromagnetic induction, which can help battery length last even longer. And admit it, people, an unspoken truth of the common man is that a lot of us have been shaving our crown jewels with the same trimmer we use on our face.
Okay, you caught me, Jack. I'll hold my hands up. But from my experience, Jack, even when you are travelling away from home, whether it's that romantic weekend away with the missus or that big weekend out on the town with the boys, Manscaped has got you covered with this lovely leather travel bag.
Ladies and gentlemen, Manscaped has truly gone above and beyond this time. I never would have thought I would have needed these goodies until now, but I promise it's a must-have. And ladies, why not treat your special man with his 2 boys and Manscaped's specially scented ball deodorant and toner? And gentlemen, can't tell you how crucial it is to keeping those boys down there smelling nice and fresh.
You've already bought the flat cap to enhance your confidence, and Manscaped only wants to help you even further. So why not take that one extra step and treat that special lady in your life with some nice, smooth boys?
Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code FLATCAP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code FLATCAP at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you.
What are you waiting for? Get yours today. Do not miss out on this deal of the century. Your balls will thank you. Thanks again, Manscaped, for the performance package. So there you are, guys. Manscaped, get over there. I hope everyone enjoys the ad. Look, we tried to make it as watchable as possible. So look, get over there and treat the boys and the love of your life, you know, with a nice, clean playing surface. That's what it's all about, guys. That's what it's all about. The code is pinned in the description or in the chat, and it's pinned in below in the description. Just click on it, manscaped.com. Use the code FLATCAP. get your 20% off the product and free shipping as well, guys. So make sure you get over there and check that out. Jack, anything you want to say, my man?
No, it's also down there if that's easier for you guys to look at it that way. Again, people really seem to enjoy the ad, like Golden Cock here. They're all willing to watch it again, which do make me feel a lot better about it, Dave, because we did put a lot of hard work into maybe some of the puns. David and I aren't that naturally funny. We did have to, really plan it out together with some of these. So I'm really glad that people have enjoyed it. And also a lot of people are still watching it for the first time as well. So really do big yourselves up. They're also noticing the great music that was helped out with Nick, who really does help us out.
Give
with
a shout out. Give Nick a shout out.
Lazy 8, everybody. If you know Lazy 8, Lazy 8's in
the
the chat sometimes. He really does help us out on a lot of the technical end. He did help us out tremendously with this video. He took all the pictures of me, with the Manscaped material that I was so graciously, provided. And then also as well, he did a lot of the editing and the music and, the graphics for it, and just, did the best job possible. He honestly smashed it out of the park. So anybody that's familiar with Lazy 8, anybody that's chatted with him in the Harris Army before, please give that guy a big thumbs up. Please give that guy a big up, because he did help us out tremendously, and he will continue to help us out with a lot of the things that David and we will admit to kind of struggle with, which is, some of the technical ends of this show. So everybody, big up Lazy 8, but as well, hopefully, again, maybe during that time period, hopefully you clicked on that link, because we want to continue to work with them. We really enjoy this partnership, but it's only, to a degree, it can only last so long if, at the moment. And we would like you guys to be able to help us out in any way you can. And if also you're just looking to maybe have a bit of a better grooming experience, maybe have it be a bit more seamless, have maybe a full rebuild, you might say, down below, I would say certainly go check out that link in the pinned comment. It's in the description. It's in the pinned comment. It's also here in this banner down below. You can't miss it. You can't miss it. But big yourselves up. Really do appreciate it. And also, again, everybody, it's all thanks to you. It really is all thanks to you.
No, look, we're going to keep saying that. It is all thanks to them. But look, guys, look, at the end of the day, we're just trying to help you out. Trying to help you out. Increase the confidence, increase, the relationship you have with them loved ones. Look, no one likes meat on there, or no one likes hair on their meat. You know what I mean? So, guys, make sure you get that cleanly shaven. And you know the rest. I'm not going to go too much into it, but no one likes hair on their meat. William Kelly says, whenever I'm feeling down, I'm just going to watch that Manscaped ad. That is hilarious, please. Now, William Kelly, look, the whole idea was to make it fun. And I want to thank Manscaped, because it was fun. It was a fun task they set us. I really enjoyed it. I have to say, I really enjoyed it. I loved coming up with the puns and all that sort of stuff. Honestly, it was hard sometimes to hold the laughter back when you were making it and stuff like that. But look, I really enjoyed it. But look, like Jack was saying, the help that Nick gave us, Lazy 8, to get it turned around in such a short space of time, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, he was also working he was working nights for us. He really was. Like, he's also doing it out of the, he's a member of the Harris Army like you guys are. He really is. He's just a normal guy like everyone else. Like David and I are just normal guys at the end of the day. So is Lazy 8, and he just wanted to help us out, wanted to make it, as best possible for us. And I will say it again, just Nick, really big yourself up. We'd like to thank you, personally. We've already, tried, to continue to thank you. But again, I think you also deserve a lot of praise from the Harris Army as well, because, the Harris Army, there's no warmer place to be. And hopefully if he's joining us tonight in the comments, Lazy 8, you'll be seeing everybody welcoming you in with, a big throne and a big flat cap. And then also as well, maybe some new fresh grooming as well.
100%. But big up, Nick. I want to give a quick shout out to Ellie. She, I don't think she's too well at the minute. Her foot is sore and stuff like that. So big shout out to Ellie, and I hope you get better soon, and I hope things are well. That's, Ellie, who always comes on the fan show, guys. Everyone knows who she is. So make sure if you do see her around, make sure you send her the best of health, guys. And big up William Kelly. I really appreciate the support, brother. Guys, everyone, make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. And feel free to help us out with the super chat too, guys. It's a massive help to YouTubers like myself and Jack. But look, let's get on the next guest, and it's our man Philip Brady. Philip, brother, how you keeping?
Yeah, congratulations on the sponsorship, lads. I mean, that ad was brilliant. I mean, I've been listening to the conversation tonight, and to be honest, it's been pretty downbeat.
Yeah.
And
And
for
that
that to
lightened
come
it up
along,
for
that
you.
was cheered me up no end. I said, well done. I hope it goes well for you.
Hopefully it wasn't too. Hopefully it was your kind of humor, Philip. You know,
Oh,
hopefully it
yeah,
wasn't too beneath.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I was smirking here listening to it. You know, I didn't see it the first time. I just saw it the first time a second ago. You know, so well
Yeah,
done.
we
I'll
tried
tell
to
you.
keep it still football references as well. You know, when it comes to
Yeah,
grooming, it's all about grooming your, the nice football pitch down below, right, Philip?
you should be getting a phone call from RTE looking for you to do voiceovers soon. You know, they will know what I mean by that one. You know.
Thank you,
No,
Philip.
look, at the end of the day, you know, it's like I keep saying, Philip, it's because of people like you, you know, that these sort of things, you know, really nice things happen to us. But look, like we keep saying, you know, it's only a trial run. So look, you know, if people can get over there and use the code and whatever, thank you so much, you know, and really appreciate it. And it really would, you know, help Manscaped maybe make a long-term decision, you know, make a long-term partnership out of it. But look, Philip, you know, what do you want to talk about, my man? What do you want to talk about?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that regardless of Newcastle's 320 billion in the bank, we're playing them on Sunday or Saturday. Saturday. Was it Saturday or Sunday? Anyway, whenever.
Sunday. Yeah.
They're still a shit team. Let's face it.
Yeah.
You know, this thing about, we're going to Newcastle, we're going to get hammered. For fuck's sake, God forgive me. Until they start buying in a few players, they're near bottom of the league. Hopefully they stay there, and hopefully they get relegated. Because I'll tell you, I have a huge problem with Newcastle being taken over by the Saudis. I really do. I've been a big fan following the Saudi situation over the last few years. And the FA have just bent over backwards and took one up the ass for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Because they said, we didn't want the Saudi government running the club.
Oh, you're killing me, lad.
Mohammed bin Salam is the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. He is the chairman of the public investment fund that's bought Newcastle. And the FA say the Saudi government aren't running Newcastle.
I mean, they were last time they tried to make the attempt, right, Philip? They got caught out. They got found out for it.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, Newcastle fans, it's great for you. You've loads of money now. You've got in bed with the devil, and you will pay the price over time. Because that guy is not fit to run. Look what he done to your man, Jamal Khashoggi.
Yeah, I mean, he's killing the journalists as well as also at the same time, you know, we all know that, you know, the record when it comes to women's rights, when it comes to equality there, when it comes to also LGBTQ groups, we all know that it's practically the worst in the world when it comes to their record, when it comes to that sort of thing. And if that's what, you know, the Premier League likes to pretend, maybe you might say, Philip, to stand with those sort of causes, to stand with those sort of, you know, those 2-degree, you know, hurt groups. And by this, you know, coming in, it's all gone out the door. It's all gone out the door. It's all paper talk for them.
This is from the FA's owners and directors test. This is the yardstick the FA sets for the owners and running people that run football clubs. And it says, the purpose of the test is for the owners, directors, and officers of clubs in those leagues to meet standards greater than that required under law so as to protect the reputation and image of the game. I rest my case.
I know we might be making this, and it's just because it is the topical case, Philip, but there was kind of 2-degree, and maybe because of the torture that they've gone through, Newcastle fans, but there was kind of a resounding, you know, celebration for it without any acknowledgement of who was actually buying them. Sure, you know, life as a football fan for them is going to be a bit easier. They're going to be watching a better team. They're not going to be relegated, you know, so much. They're going to be much higher up the table. But at the same time, like, it just felt like there wasn't really as much, from at least maybe the media perspective, there wasn't as much.
All 19 Premiership clubs are supposed to be questioning it, raising questions. All 19 of them are supposed to be questioning and asking the FA exactly the same question. Why did you allow those boys in? You know, it's just like, what are we going to have? They're going to refuse women admission to the match. Are they going to have to wear burqas when they're in the game? Are they going to allow them? You know, it's just a whole.
I mean, they're not allowed to do that in a foreign country, and hopefully they don't even try. Hopefully they don't even try.
Women can't even drive cars in Saudi Arabia. I have friends who've worked out there for a couple of years, and that's how I know so much about the place. You know, okay, you know, after Mike Ashley, anybody's probably welcome to come into the club. But and this is I'm not going to. This isn't a Newcastle fan base. I'm not going to mention any more to it. I just hope we go up there on Sunday and absolutely thrash them. Really do. Really absolutely thrash them. The only thing we can take from Newcastle is we should borrow their way of protesting against the owner. They had a protest every week against Mike Ashley, home and away. With all due respect to the people that are protesting at Spurs, I mean, and they mean well, and I hope to God they succeed. But 20 people protesting is not going to make Daniel Levy sell up the club. In fact, he's probably laughing at them. He says, listen, if that's all they can raise, my position here is safe for as long as I want to be here. We're going to have to get into a situation where the whole of the South Stand, the whole of the bloody ground has placards up, Levy out. That's the only way we're going to get round to getting rid of that guy. You know,
now, Philip, in the case of, if we know in the case of Saudi Arabia that, you know, we know, like you said, especially the owner of that consortium group has more of a violation of human rights per year than practically any other, you know, country practically in the world. But when is it hard to also come to terms with that the fact that Abramovich was maybe the one that kind of started it all, and he certainly by no means has a decent history as well. And then also in the case of Man City's owner, there's been videos of him, you know, allowing executions and allowing, you know, things that we thought were back in the 3rd century.
None of those three owners are fit to run clubs. They should never have been allowed in. Abramovich made his money on the back of being a buddy of Vladimir Putin. And he made his money is pure dirt. Every penny he earned is dirty. Manchester City are probably the least culpable. At least they've got a reputable airline behind them. They've got there's a little bit of
they've disguised it better
for them. Okay, the human rights isn't great, but the Saudi Arabian human rights is non-existent. Yeah, really, it's non-existent. And I mean, that's it. I'm not going to say. I've been so angry the last few days since I saw that, and it's not because I see Newcastle overtaking Spurs as a club that's able to spend money. They're going to do one of two things. They are going to absolutely ruin the transfer market because there's players that are worth 50 million. They're going to pay 100 million just to get them. They're going to absolutely, crucify that transfer market, ruin the chances of us getting any decent players coming at decent prices. So, I mean, there's a lot of things to be said that Newcastle might be celebrating now, but I think this could be quite a short honeymoon, And Chelsea and City have got away with it. I mean, how City got away with that ban out of Europe, I just do not know. I mean, it must have been a fairly well-stuffed brown envelope that went in, because that's all I can think that it was. End of the rant. Let's talk about Spurs.
Well, before we do,
this is a decent comment from Ribsy85. He's saying it's disingenuous for us to slag off Newcastle after accepting City and Chelsea for so long. This is, I think, just what Philip and I were getting into, actually, Ribsy. So you're on the ball here. You're absolutely on the ball. And he says one's Putin's lapdog and the other is equally as bad for human rights. I think he means Man City. And to complain just about Newcastle just looks like sour milk. I don't think we're just complaining about Newcastle, but to a degree, maybe we're saying, Ribsy, and I know Philip's going to get in here and he needs to give his thoughts on this, but we kind of have pushed it all under the rug. When Man City took over, we pushed it under the rug. Of course, when Abramovich took over, we pushed it under the rug, and we've all forgotten about it. Yes, maybe it's a bit bad that, now we're all of a sudden maybe up in arms yet again, but I think to a degree, there's more knowledge around the world of what's, the case, and it's not maybe as, as disguised as it was before in the case of Man City or in Chelsea. But Philip, what are your thoughts on this from Ribsy?
Well, as I said, I think it's a very good point. We were just getting into this particular question. To me, none of those three clubs should have their present owners. That's my bottom line on it.
And you did say that, to be
fair. None of them are
fit.
Fit and proper person to run the club for various reasons. Abramovich, because he's a crook. Manchester City, because of the way they jockeyed around that financial fair play, and they got around it through fair means or foul. I don't know how they got around it. And Saudi Arabia, because they're just an aberration. They just do not treat people with respect. If you disagree with them, they kill you. So how can they be fit persons to run a football club? I feel so strongly about this. If the positions were reversed and Mohammed bin Salam was taking over as owner of Tottenham Hotspur, I would consider my position as supporting Spurs. And I've supported Spurs a long time. That is how strongly I feel about them.
Sorry, Phil, continue. Yeah, sorry, you're on a roll. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's just I just feel that if apparently they were offered Spurs, apparently, in rumor has it. Thanks be to God, I'd rather have 10 Daniel Levy's than one Mohammed bin Salam running my club. And he's bad, but Salam is worse.
Is that maybe then it goes on to maybe, Philip, the differentiation between football and then just general world,
Just quickly, I see a few people maybe a bit unhappy with what's being said. But look, at the end of the day, guys, I'm not here to censor opinions. Everyone can come on and have their say and say exactly what they're feeling. And it's not my job to tell people what they can and can't say. At the end of the day, everyone has their own feelings and own opinions on things, and they all have a right to express it.
I'd also maybe advocate that you certainly educate yourselves then also, and maybe exactly what Philip is saying, because he's not wrong. Maybe what his conclusions about it, maybe you could disagree with that, but whatever he stated just now it's not wrong. And also I would advise you to go to The Guardian, and because they've spoken about this in multiple podcasts about this exact consortium group, and they've really spoken about it. They've spoken about Qatar, World Cup. And I would just say everybody, to a degree, should educate yourselves on it, regardless of maybe what you think about what Philip has said.
I don't want to get into a row with anybody. I mean, I've made my point on it now. I think I'll leave it at that, because it does upset me. And let's move on to talk about Tottenham.
No, look, you have every right to be upset. Look,
I agree with you, Philip, wholeheartedly.
Every right. But go on. What do you want to talk about next, my man?
I hate the international window, because we should be sitting here discussing another Spurs win, but we're not. I have to wait till next Monday to do that, The one thing I will say about it was good news over the weekend. Giovanni Lo Celso created 8 chances for Argentina and was involved in 2 assists. So that ain't bad.
So, yeah. And of course, Ireland won the other night, Philip.
Yeah, I didn't see it actually, but yeah, a good win. And okay, it's just too little, too late, but at least we got a win under our belt, And but anyway, just one other thing too. I just gone on about the NFL match at the Lane at the weekend, or the stadium at the weekend. Where the money goes for this. Like I checked this out a few minutes ago. The stadium, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, is 100% owned by Tottenham Hotspur. It's not owned by ENIC. Like ENIC own 85% of Spurs, but they don't own the stadium. What I would love to see,
that's on the stadium. Are they not on Tottenham though, Philip?
Yeah, that's the thing. What I would love to see is this: is when the accounts come out at the end of the year, the money for the gate receipts, put it like that, simply a way to put it, the gate receipts are broken down to show how much was taken from the soccer matches and how much was taken from the NFL matches, and a clear and utter, and what am I looking for? An uncluttered version of where that money goes to. Is it going straight back into ENIC's coffers? Is it staying in the club to allow us to buy players? There's got to be a lot more transparency here now, because I have no problem with the stadium being used for other purposes like boxing matches, as long as the money generated goes back in the greater degree into the club to make the club stay on the same spending level as not the same as Newcastle. You're not going to get anywhere near that, but the same spending level as comparable clubs and the likes of Chelsea, Arsenal, that we can buy players that suit the standard that we're looking for. I just don't want the money going to buy Joe Lewis's 13th yacht. And unfortunately, that's where I fear the money is going.
For the painting that goes with that yacht.
Do you think maybe, Philip, it's too late to ask them or try and get out of them a percentage of what they're making off the likes of the NFL and concerts? What they're putting back into football and side. Do you think that should have been done before we even entered into the stadium?
Well, no, I think we were all so delighted to get this new stadium. Nobody really sat down and thought, hang on a bit, is Levy going to be up to his old tricks here? Let's face it, when we got this stadium, it was been called the best stadium in the world, which it probably is. Like, nobody really sat down and thought about it. Even when the new NFL pitch was going in, maybe that should have set a few alarm bells ringing, because hang on, there's as much money being spent on the NFL side here as there is on the soccer side. All I will say is this: 15% of the shares in Tottenham are owned by individuals. They should have the right to go to the AGM and ask the questions that we're asking tonight. Where is the money going to?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if the AGM is a closed house, whether you can go into it. If you're a shareholder, you should be allowed access to it. But that's something that needs to be done. There has to be an awful lot more transparency now. And in a way, in a perverse sort of a way, maybe the Newcastle takeover will make Levy open up the information banks a little bit more because he's got to realize that clubs like Spurs now are going to be under scrutiny. They're all going to be under scrutiny to see how they're going to react to the Newcastle situation.
Yeah. How do you think they will react, though, Philip? Do you think they will put in that cash flow, that money that's needed to try and compete, or do you think they'll probably just tighten up even more, maybe?
Not at all. We're not going to benefit from this. I said the money. Okay, it's okay. In January probably isn't a good time to gauge the spending power of a club because nobody really buys their major signings in January. But I would say next summer, when Newcastle will really be at the races buying players, then we'll see what the spending power that Levy is going to sanction for the club is. You made a very good point earlier, David, about Paratici. I think you could be right there. If Paratici can persuade Levy to open up the checkbook, we've got a chance. But if he sits and gets you can spend 25 million. Christ's sake, you wouldn't get a 19-year-old for 25 million these days with no experience. So I don't think we're going to hear anything until next summer, and then hopefully things will move on. But as for the protests, well-meaning as they are, they're absolutely going to have no bearing on what Daniel Levy leaving the club. It's going to have to be an awful lot more concerted and a lot more intense to let that guy even get the wind up that he's not very popular.
Yeah.
In the case of Paratici, then, Philip, is it to a degree maybe that's why maybe Levy hired him, is just because, Levy, if he wants to open up his pocketbook, and again, wishful thinking, I must disclaim that is wishful thinking. But if he were to open up his pocketbook just that bit more, maybe that's why he hired Paratici, because he knew that this guy would probably spend it a bit better and spend it a bit more wisely, and would also to a degree find players that Levy knows he could then sell on for profit. He knows that could, to a degree, build the club up to a level that it maybe hasn't reached before in the last 20 years under his regime, of course.
Paratici was what we needed. But the guy Hitchin that's sitting alongside him there, do we need him? I don't think so. Because he's been responsible for some of the toughest transfers we brought in years.
Yeah.
Like Leeds to con us out of 10 million for Jack Clark. And there's others. So, I think Paratici can do that job on his own. And I think he could use his contacts with Juventus and all that to get a few players from Serie A that might suit our budget.
That's a good point, actually. Paratici
I would hope he would do that. But he can't do it all in one window. I mean, he did pretty good in the first window he was there. I mean, he brought in Romero and, Emerson and Galini and what do you call
Hill
him?
And Pape Matasar.
Yeah, Brian Hill. So, he did okay. He's done okay. Now, hopefully the next window is the Deadwood gets shifted out.
Yeah.
That's got to happen because we've got to get the wage bill down. We've got to get the likes of Winks off the payroll, Ben Davis, probably Eric Dyer. And there's probably others. There's probably others on the under 23s, who are never going to make it up to the first team. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Free up the cash.
Unfortunately, I agree with you, but the unfortunate thing is that people just have to sit by and be patient because on that aspect of things, it does take time. You're never going to get all the Deadwood out in one window. The fact that we got 8 out was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Got 5 in, and hopefully we can rotate again next summer. Get another 5 in, get another 5 out. I think you have the squad rotated then to the way it needs to be. And look, for me, I think Paratici got all of his signings spot on so far this window, and hopefully he can continue on to the next window. 100%. Look, I do believe right now that I know a lot of people are out there saying, oh, you can't call him Don, you can't do this. First of all, I'll call him Don if I want to call him Don. And second of all, it's just, look, for me, I think he is our saviour. I think he's our only hope. I think he's the only one that can go to Levy and maybe get him to spend that bit extra on players. And maybe it's a case that Levy trusts this guy. And hopefully that is the case. Hopefully that is the case. But Faz Radfar with the Super Chat says, I feel so proud of my club with supporters like Philip. Big up, well said about club standards. I don't want my club to be bought like rich men.
I don't mind being. I would love the club to be bought by a rich man. I would absolutely love Jeff Bezos to come in there and make us the Amazon Stadium and put a couple of billion into the club. I would absolutely love that, But I doubt it's going to happen. I mean, it would have happened by now if it was going to happen. I think,
Philip, they're not selling 3.5 billion prime real estate in London. They have the best venue to bring all the concerts, the big fights, and everything. They ain't selling.
Yeah,
Jeff
that's it.
Bezos does a price.
That's it. And Jeff Bezos is not going to pay over the odds. He never did, never will.
No.
Yeah.
He knows what that club is worth, and he knows Levy also knows what it's worth. So I can't listen. We're stuck with Levy for the foreseeable future. It's sad to say it, but that's the way it's going to be.
I do want to say to people, never give up. Try and never give up.
Well,
Putting ideas out there and putting actions there. And
got to keep the opposition going, but it's got to be more organized. It's got to be on a bigger scale, a much bigger scale, or else it's not going to be even noticed.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
It's embarrassing. You see 20 people at a demonstration. Really, it doesn't. It does look. I mean, and again, I'm not taking away from the motives of the people doing it. They're absolutely fantastic. That are brave enough to go out and do it.
Yeah.
But there's got to be 10 or 15,000 more of them in every match to do it, and then maybe things will start to move a little bit.
I agree with that.
Big up Faz. Big up Faz. And also as well, I would say, Faz, I really agreed wholeheartedly entirely with what Philip has said. And, it's kind of, we all come from different positions on it. And that's also plenty fine. But also, I think, Philip, you're absolutely speaking the truth. And that just comes from me. But I'm not saying that, anyway, but telling people what to think or not. But I really full-heartedly agree as well with what Philip said. So Faz, you're certainly not alone in that belief as well, clearly.
No. Big up, Faz. I really appreciate that, brother. And look, whether you feel as hard as on the situation as Philip and Jack, or whether you don't, at the end of the day, we're all Spurs. Let's not pull each other down. That's what I say. Look, everyone is entitled to their opinions on things, as always, and I'm a big believer in that. And look, the fact that Philip actually had the bollocks to come on and speak, you know what I mean, about it when so many doesn't. Fair play to the guy. That's what I say. Ian Ferguson says Paratici uses this to get an open checkbook. I wouldn't say an open checkbook now, Ian. I wouldn't say open, but look, it might make Levy maybe cough up a few extra million. It might be the difference between a Callum Wilson, cheap from Newcastle when they will sell him, or a Vlahovic, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't say an open checkbook. That's definitely that's never going to happen.
It's not even the thing Levy understands.
An open checkbook would make Daniel Levy sweaty, weak at the knees, everything else. He would be so nervous. Honestly, it'd be Daniel Levy's kryptonite, an open checkbook, my man. Definitely.
Do you know what he'd have written on it? He'd have, on every check in that book, he'd have not to exceed 25 euros.
Yeah, null and void after that.
100%.
But listen, lads, we're eighth in the league. We're 4 points off the top of the Premiership. That's all I'm going to say. We're 4 points off the top. And look, that's it. We could be in the top 5 next weekend if things move right.
Do you feel like we've also, to a degree, kind of had a difficult schedule in the beginning? Do you feel like we kind of had a difficult schedule as well?
Also, Chelsea, we had tough games.
City
as well.
Is always a tough one.
So, we've got them out of the way. We've got a few. Look, there's no easy games in the Premiership, but we've got a few more manageable ones coming up.
Yeah.
And as I keep saying, the squad's going to settle in. Hopefully, there's no injuries after the international break. That's the big worry we've got. It'd be just our luck now. Son gets crocked tonight against Iran.
Oh, don't say that. Dark
there needs to be a posse. There needs to be someone protecting him at all costs.
For 3 weeks. You can't say that, Philip.
No. I have to. I'm going to be positive. Positivity is the only way now.
Look, all of our players are going to come back fit. They're all going to come back fit, and we're going to be raring to go. To smack the tune. That's for sure, 100%. But look, Philip, anything else about Tottenham you want to talk about? Do you want to maybe? Actually, here's a good question. I've actually wanted to ask you this one. Is the fan-led review by the UK government, and they're due to be publishing recommendations soon. What would you like to see in them recommendations?
What would I like to see? Well, I think no matter what's in those recommendations, this is only it's a smoke screen. It's a smoke screen. Is Boris Johnson behind this?
I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure. All I don't know is that some MPs, supposedly football fans, probably are, I don't know, but apparently they're leading into it. Basically, it's what they're doing is right, they're looking into football clubs, the whole business model, and basically what they're trying to eradicate is what happened to Bury FC, where they just go to the extinction and owners are taking the piss to the point where what happened to Bury, but also, to put recommendations in to kind of for fans to maybe get a bit of representation at board level and stuff like that in order to stop a Super League. going ahead the way it was. There's a lot involved in it. I've done a bit of reading up on it, to be honest. Jack might have something else to add to that. I'm not 100% sure, but that's the basis of it. And look, it is government-led. And I'll say it again, look, my opinion is that financial fair play and always brought in all over the years to keep the government away from it. The government's seen how big football has become, and they want a slice of the pie, and I think they're using the fans. That's my opinion on it. But Jack, have you anything to add to that, and then we'll let Philip answer?
I think it's specifically the guy that's kind of spearheading this is the cultural minister, the minister of culture of sport, and I think it's Oliver Dowden, who is a member of parliament, and then he's spearheading this. I'm not sure for what reasons, but he's finding it and taking it upon his shoulders to basically investigate via a very selected and very official panel that features people that are experts on the women's league, people that are expert on the national league, and people that are experts basically on all tiers of the pyramid of the Premier League, English football in general, or UK football in general. So he's put together, to a degree, a quite informed panel that will then ask fans of all clubs of all stages of the pyramid and just ask, where do they think the money goes? How do they think their football team is being run? Are they satisfied with how it's being run? And basically trying to an extent get a full survey from fans about what they think clubs do for them, do for their communities and whatnot. And it all has the right intentions. What I would say, though, is the important thing is that there needs to be something in black and white that's put in there, that's some sort of legislation that's put in. And of course, there's only so much that they can do to these clubs, because a lot of these clubs are owned by foreign owners who have even registered, these businesses or these franchise clubs, outside the UK. But at the same time, there is definitely things that the UK government can still put in place to prevent some sort of pretty much manipulation of the fans that we even see in our own club. So I think to a degree, it's only going to promote something good. And I think the most important thing is that hopefully we see some sort of legislation passed in Parliament with whatever findings they come up with.
It's all very well meaning. I'm sure it'll come out. They'll probably produce a 500-page report at the end of it, which will probably end up gathering dust on the shelf in the Commons. It's going to be like financial fair play. It's there, but nothing's going to be done about it. That's my opinion.
Is that because they don't feel like they can do anything about it, or is it just because they do it for
reputation? They're doing it because they feel that it should be done.
Because it looks good.
Yeah, because it looks good. It's a pure, it's a smoke screen. It's to show that, we're into all things. It's football is such a big part of the British psyche. And when we're getting so involved in it, tell people exactly what's going on there, it'll end up, all that'll happen is they'll probably end up paying a load of consultants a ball full of money to give their opinion on something that'll just sit and gather dust. Well-meaning, but absolutely pointless at the end of the day, a bit like financial fair play.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to sound a bit bolshy tonight, but it's just that the subject should have come up. It just would annoy me. And you
have no reason to apologise whatsoever. It's what these fan shows are about. People come on and give their exact opinion. That's why.
And you're brave enough to come on here and give your opinion as well, regardless of your opinion.
Well, I mean, it's. I'm just going to call a spade, really. And I would love to see something coming up that would protect the teams in the second and third divisions that are probably struggling by on a pittance of gate receipts every week. There's something would be done for them. But
the Bury FCs of the world,
they're the club, Bury FC as such. They're the clubs that need to have the care and protection given to them, not the Manchester Cities and the Newcastles and the Chelseas.
That's actually a solid point.
Because that little whiny fucker Gary Neville was calling for it.
Was that who it was? Right.
Yeah, he was calling for it. Yeah, he's been calling for it for a while now. So I think that's why they kind of done it. But yeah, look, honestly, you nearly killed me with that comment because I knew something like that was coming anyway. I love it. But Ribsy with the super chat says, yeah, good on you, David. Free thinking zone. Good on you, Phil and Jack, for some real talk. International break is a good time for it too. Then back to the football. 100%, my man. 100%.
Thank you for giving your opinion as well, Ribsy. Really appreciate that as well. Like Ribsy, again, like Philip, has come on here and has given what his thoughts are. And again, people are welcome to come on the show and, give their thoughts as well. Maybe offer something different, offer something more of the same. But Ribsy, again, putting his thoughts in here. And Ribsy, you're not alone in it. So it is also a free thinking zone, like you just said here perfectly. But I'm very glad that, Ribsy, you also put your thoughts into it as well. Really do appreciate that. And like I said, you're not alone in those thoughts. You certainly are not. You really aren't. You have a lot of support behind you with that. And I'm glad that you were brave enough to also bring up your real opinion on it. So there you go, Ripsy. Big yourself up.
Just one other point, if I could make it there, and I'll just go back to the NFL situation where I think the comment was passed that there's been a lot more money spent on maybe promoting the NFL games at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That could be a two-edged sword. Like I was watching some of the coverage of it the other day there, and there was an awful lot of comments going back, and these comments be going back to America about what a brilliant ground Tottenham Hotspur have.
Yeah,
and you could have some impressionable kids in America. Jack, you can probably relate to this. Oh yeah, I'm looking for a team to support. They look good. They support the NFL. I'll support them. I'll support the soccer team. So it might just gather us up a few fans in America.
I actually am not even kidding, Philip. I know people that are huge football fans that have become Tottenham fans because of it.
You know, we'll get fans out of America because of this, and as long as they buy the shirt, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Philip, you're actually spot on. I'm not even kidding. People that are huge American football fans saw the games and they were like, "That is an impressive stadium," and maybe again makes a lot of people kind of queasy to hear that sort of comment. But at the end of the day, it did bring a lot of recognition. I'm not even kidding. People were texting me that never text me about football and were saying, you know, like, oh, it was actually a really nice stadium that was played in. Oh, it looks like actually a really nice place to go. To a degree, like I'm not taking credit for it, or I'm not prideful. I'm not prideful of it. But like I said, and we brought this up with the conversation with Danny, the more recognition for our club is actually the better, because we aren't the Man Uniteds of the world. We aren't the Barcelonas of the world. Those are the clubs that pretty much most Americans who couldn't care less, those are the only clubs they know. And if Tottenham to a degree becomes one of those household name clubs, I would say that's still, at the end of the day, it's good press. It is good press at the end of the day. And I would actually enjoy it if, you know, if Tottenham were more of a team that people were aware of that actually don't care about football over here. I would be happy with that. I would love that.
Once the COVID thing has gone and Europeans can travel to America freely, I guarantee you one of the first tours Tottenham will do will be to America.
Of course it will. They go where the money is. They go where the money is.
Go where the money is, yeah.
Back in the day.
Again, if that money goes back into the club, fair enough. If it goes to Joe Lewis, I'm mad about it. But if it goes to the club, that's what we want, you know?
Yeah.
Preferably with somebody else in charge.
What we have to realise is as well, these football clubs, especially like the Tottenham and the bigger football clubs, they will always go to what would I say, not a rising market, but a market where fans haven't been turned or solely sold on one club, and it's booming and there's a lot of money in the market. They've done it with Asia years ago. I remember before the season, you used to be able to watch the Barclays Premier League Asia Trophy. Tottenham were playing the likes of West Ham and all in that. And they're going to do the same in America. That's why you've seen that Champions football, whatever it is, at the start of preseason, all that sort of crap. And no one actually knows who wins it or what the rules are of the competition. But
even the Copa del Rey is played in the Middle East.
Every club is going to go to America. A lot of clubs are going to go to America. It's where the money is right now. And there's so many fans over there that are not committed to one club, shall we say, yet. You know, so that's exactly, it's an untapped market. That's exactly where they're going to go. But Kuva99 says, I think we'll let you take this as well. He says, if I'm honest, I've fallen out of love with football. The influx of money when the EPL was formed irreparably ruined the sport. I only follow us through 45 years of nostalgia, emotional investment, and the killer word, hope.
That's a very good point. I mean, yeah, and I'm sure Kuva99 is not alone in thinking that. I mean, there is an awful lot of people have been put off by the big money goings on that there's been in football over the world in the last few years, especially the EPL. You know, I mean, the EPL was founded for a purpose to bring the best teams together, and TV money came in then. Probably TV money up to a point ruined a lot of clubs, ruined a lot of the smaller clubs. Anyway, 45 years of nostalgia, emotional investment, and the killer hope. Yeah. What's the first word we say on the first day of every season? I hope Spurs win the league this season. I'm longer than 45 years and I'm still saying it. So, yeah, good point. I mean, I can absolutely, completely empathize with what he's saying.
Well said, Philip. Well said. Kuva, I would just say there's a fantastic book. I reference it a lot, along with, Jonathan Wilson's, Football Pyramid for Tactics, which, I wouldn't recommend as much. But I would say it's by the same guys who wrote Freakonomics. It has to do with soccer, or they call it soccernomics. I almost use the S word there. But have a huge chapter basically on exactly what you're talking about. And to a degree, they kind of foresaw this when they were saying football should not be pumped with money for this exact reason, where it then gets, certain maybe things about politics, maybe about worlds, countries trying to cover up maybe certain crimes and whatnot. It just turns into a huge mess. And that's why they actually said that to a degree, the Premier League should not be run in such a way that it is today. They were saying it should not be run for the profit machine that it is today. And, maybe a lot of people would disagree. I think it's fine to disagree with that. But basically that chapter in that book, I would really recommend reading it if you check out that book, because basically highlights everything that has to a degree been happening in the last 10 years. So there you go. I would say really recommend that. Really
send me a link
chapter.
For that, Jack. I might actually get that and have
one of my favorite books to a degree, because it does just highlight all the ins and outs of the economics of running a football club, or the economics of the Premier League, or the economics of just football in general. So I would just say
four-part documentary that BBC have done. It's about the Premier League. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's a good watch as well. People should watch it. It's about, when it was formed and the money that was coming into it and the stars that were created and stuff like that. It's very good. It's very good. But Kuva, my man, look, I'll be honest with you. I probably will be exactly like you in about another 20 years' time when I have the greys and stuff like that, But right now, I can't help it. Like I keep saying, if I'm feeling pissed off with Tottenham, I wrap myself in my Tottenham towel after my shower. Then I wrap myself in the scarf and the flag and just love the cockerel for a few minutes. I've got to do it. I've got to do it, my man. I have to do it. I love Tottenham. Like I said, I'm a loser before. I've nothing else in my life but Tottenham Hotspur, and that's just the way I am. But I hopefully I'm not using that word hope in another 20 years, man.
But David, you won't have the grave. You won't have the grave. Manscaped will look after that.
There you go. And 100%. I think, final word to Kuva is just, to a degree, a lot of people are starting to kind of come to terms with that, where Kuva, let me know in the comments. Do you feel like maybe the Premier League has already become the Super League? That's my belief personally. I think the Premier League is already the Super League. There's no reason for any of the Premier League clubs to join the Super League, because it's all coming to them. The Super League is coming to this league, and there's no reason for them to form their own. Maybe they want to do it right for the no sense of consequence, but like what we just saw with Newcastle just now, I think the Premier League is already the Super League. But maybe Kuva, maybe that's going a bit extreme, but that's just my belief about it. And I think that connects to exactly what you think about how money, to a degree, has irreparably changed the Premier League, like you said.
100%. Big up, Kuva. Really appreciate the support, brother. Really, really appreciate the support. Philip, anything else you want to say, my man, before we let you go?
No. I think that Brad on now. I'm sure Brad has a few good things to say as well.
I'm sure he does. 100%. He's sitting there with his beer, and his flat cap. So I'm sure he has a few things to be saying off the back of you, Philip. That's for sure. But Philip, my man, I really appreciate the support. Everything you've done for us so far. I think it's been a great call. I really appreciate you giving up your time from coming on. I know you're only back from a romantic a few days away with the missus for her birthday and that. And I have to say, you made me jealous for putting up that jelly and ice cream picture you put up there the other day. Honestly, I was salivating. I was sitting there with a really sore throat as well, and I was like, that'd be perfect right now.
Oh, God, yeah, true enough. It was good fun now. Good fun. Anyone wants a good weekend, go to Galway. Great spot.
Galway, it is a great spot, to be fair. Yeah. Did you get your €9 Dairy Milk Tottenham chocolate bar?
No, would you believe I didn't? I got sidetracked, and then they were rushing me to go get on the road. That was at some service station on the motorway on the M6.
€9 for
€9. It's pretty expensive now,
€9 for a Dairy Milk bar with a Spurs crest on it. Jesus Christ, man. Yeah. Jesus Christ, honestly.
I'll get one next time. Actually, if there were Arsenal ones, I was going to hide them behind the other ones, I didn't have to. They didn't have any.
100%. But Philip, I'm letting you go because you're going to kill me, my man. You're going to kill me here. You shouldn't be making me laugh when I'm this sick, my man. But big yourself up, lad. Really appreciate it.
Legendary call. Legendary, Philip. You're a legend. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Philip. Jack, you bring on Brad. I'll be back 1 second.
No problem. Just going to take Kuva's here, and it is, her just kind of practically blowing a lot of hearts, to the Harris Army, also to David and I. Kuva, really do appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. As always, really do appreciate you. And Kaguma, hopefully you've been enjoying this fan show. Hopefully you've maybe to a degree, have, gotten something from every guest. I feel like every guest has kind of had more or less kind of different things to say, different takes to say. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. But, we are going to bring on again another favorite of the Harris Army here, and it is going to be Brad Matthews. Brad, international break, how you've been keeping it? Have you been kind of missing, Spurs and football in general, or is this the break that you needed? Is this the break that you needed?
It was less stressful, put it that way. It was a. I didn't even watch the England game. I was out Saturday night, so I didn't even see the England game. But no, there's no Spurs stress this weekend, which is really, really good. Because I have enough stress in my life, So if Spurs having stress, it makes it worse. But no, it was quite a quiet weekend. I don't even know when. I think the England game's tomorrow. I'll probably watch it tomorrow, but we're more or less guaranteed to be in the World Cup.
The Andorra one was certainly one that you probably should be happy about missing, because I think it was even played on an Astro as well.
Oh, was it?
I
presume Kane didn't play.
No, he did not. I believe it was Tammy Abraham that played up top.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's one thing anyway. And I'm not sure how South Korea got on tonight against Iran with Sonny, because that's the worst thing with the international breaks, is that you lose your players, right? And
also the risk of injury, as we had last time. But it seems like it's not going to be as bad as it maybe was the last time. But I don't know if it could have gotten any worse. I don't know if it could have gotten any worse, right?
Quite a low bar there,
That's just us again, the big hope word that we shouldn't, we should use it a lot less. But I agree with you.
I'll wait till David gets back on. But I was on a quiz show earlier tonight, and like my quiz show on the Thursday night, I came last in both ones. So, so I got on late, and I sort of looked in the top corner. I saw Manscaped. I thought, oh, they've got a sponsor. And then you mentioned something about the advert. And I'm thinking, okay, I'll check it out. And obviously you showed it again, and I sort of watched it. But that was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Appreciate it.
I wish. Yeah, well, I'll wait till David gets back. But that's excellent. I think you guys deserve it, and it's. Oh, I want to say this to you. David's not around. But.
You could save it. Maybe we could just talk about just football in general until maybe David gets here. But
I have to say,
crisis averted. I'm here. Philip nearly killed me.
I was going to say, sorry, but I came last representing the Irish Hotspur and the Flatcapeurotalk and the quiz. I came last, unfortunately.
You'll get them next time.
You should text me. You should text me the questions. I would have sent you the answers.
Well, actually, Bob Spur was accusing everyone of cheating, so it's really, really funny. No, it's very, very funny, really, really funny. But I was just saying, to Jack, I suddenly switched on and saw the Manscaped sign. I'm like, oh, you got a sponsor. So that's brilliant. Well done. You really deserve it, guys. And if I think back to, if I'm right, you've been doing this for about a year now.
David just had his year birthday. David just had the year birthday, actually, yesterday, I believe. Yesterday.
And I remember seeing, and I think I said this to you before, I remember seeing the very first couple you did, and you looked really nervous and, was sort of mumbling this and doing it, and you just come on in leaps and bounds, and you had I know whose idea it was to get Jack in, but that's worked brilliantly. I think you two are a great, great team, absolutely brilliant team. And okay, you say that you're doing well because we're all watching it, the Harris Army, the Flatcapeurotalk Army, but we wouldn't be watching it if the content wasn't any good. So it works both ways. So I think that's been absolutely brilliant for you guys. And I just noticed you got over 4,000 subscribers. So the funny Irish guy from We Are Tottenham TV, and that's what I used to say. Wow. You should watch We Are Tottenham TV. Everyone does the aftermatch show. There's this really funny Irish guy on there, sort of thing.
No, look, do you know what? I really appreciate that, Brad. It's when you say it like that, about how far we've come since I first started, and by the way, it was my decision to get Jack on board. There's no one behind me or over me. We don't have any. We're not involved in any sort of fucking what would you call them? I don't even know what you call them, but like. People where they pick up YouTubers and help them out and stuff like that. Like, we're not involved in any of that.
No,
me and Jack. All just me and Jack. And look, do you know what, Brad? I really do appreciate it. But look, the thing is, me and Jack can put out all the content, but it's the time that you guys give up to watch us, the dedication, the devotion to the channel.
Exactly.
And I'm going to keep saying it. It's unrivaled and it's absolutely insane. And none of this would happen without you guys. Brad, you coming on all the fan shows, you know, supporting us the way you have done, like you said, from the very start to now. Without you guys, even buying the flat caps, I know that had something to do with Manscaped. I have a feeling. You know, they see everyone coming on with the flat caps and everything else, you know. And look, without you guys, like I keep saying, this channel is nothing. It's absolutely nothing without you guys.
Yeah, well, here's to many more years. Here's to the second year.
Yeah.
But no, it's been very, very good. And you know, the fan show idea is, you know, I mean, well, first of all, the Tottenham story, you know, and I saw that and I thought, yeah, I can do that because, you know, my experience living in Australia for a time is like different than maybe
yours is interesting. Yours is interesting.
Yeah.
You read maybe all the Telegram and everything.
Yeah, maybe people might sort of, you know, find it interesting and that sort of thing. And yeah, so that was sort of like got me involved. And then, you know, the fan show, I sort of, I mean, I said to you, I feel, I guess I better be on the fan show now. Sort of feel I'm obligated to, but now it's sort of like it's a regular occurrence. And yeah, okay, I go to bed late, you know, and sort of
I think we all do.
early in the morning.
Everyone that follows this channel are night owls, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but you know, it's just brilliant. So yeah, no, so well done, guys, and yeah, it's made the international break a lot more interesting than it otherwise would have been. So.
We should have got a cake. I should have got David a cake. You know, that's honestly on me, but it is his year birthday with the channel. And honestly,
I forgot about it, to be honest with you, Jack.
I know you did. I know you did. I was actually waiting for you to bring it up. There you go, Dave. There you go. It is, you know, the Irish Hotspur 1 year birthday. Dave has made it a full year, and honestly, he's still looking very young and peachy from it. So, you know what? And he's come a long way. David is honestly, like Brad has said, he's certainly come a long way, and I've been honestly so grateful to also be a part of it as well.
Do you know what? I probably shouldn't go into it, but to be honest with you, right, we may as well, since it was brought up, we may as well let Brad vibe out with us on the topic. But like, you know, when I first started this, I could never imagine, and look, by no way in any sort of terms or means am I big or anything like that. But from where I first started, which was doing nothing, you know, I was, and Jack, you know my conditions and stuff like that. Like, you know, I haven't been too well and everything else, and I just said I'd give this a shot. And from where I first started to now, within a year, it's been absolutely an amazing and incredible journey. But I have to say, like, as much as I really enjoy making the content and everything else, the most part I really enjoy is just communicating with everybody from all around the world. You know, you can communicate. And I'll be honest with you. Look, I was a social media phobia. You know, I just didn't do social media. I just didn't like it, and it's kind of forced me to do it. And to be able to interact with everybody around the world, it's absolutely amazing. Especially all Spurs fans, you know, people that we can have therapy with, and people that you can ride all the highs with all the way through the season. Yeah. It's been absolutely amazing. I have to say that is my favorite part of the whole thing. It's my favorite part of the whole thing.
Especially during lockdown, you know, the year of lockdown, it was just really, really helpful. And you know, you guys and We Are Tottenham TV and all of the Tottenham content, you know, it's been very good. And you know, fair play to you, David. You always make that comment about people direct messaging you if they feel down and that sort of thing. And that, again, that's incredibly important. You know, it's difficult. It's difficult at times, and you need that sort of outlet. And it's great chatting to people. It's just like chatting to your mates about football. You know, at the end of the day, it's sort of, you know, and it just gets broadcast somewhere. You know, and you don't even think about who's watching this, or you know, sort of letting people into my lounge. You know, the famous blue sofa, blue couch. What's the difference between a couch and
that's
a sofa?
Another thing. You are letting people into your home too. You know, you are letting people into your home too, in a sense. And it's just been amazing. Look, I wouldn't be sitting here working with Jack. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you, Brad, if I never took the plunge. But look, I can't take full credit. I have to say, We Are Tottenham TV gave me a chance on the fan shows. You know, I was badgering them for ages because, honestly, not badgering them to get on, but I didn't know how to go through the whole process of getting a membership, because I am honestly ask Jack. I am so stupid when it comes to like technology and little things like that. Jack has always helped me out. And I know Jack sometimes is sitting there, you know, just Jesus Christ, David, you know, but look, and then, you know, Matty Hayes bringing me on his channel, and, you know, people giving me the exposure, and people just seem to, you know, like what I had to say. Charlie THFC was around at the time. Same thing with him. And Yeah, no, I've been blessed. I've been blessed. That's all I can say.
I was out on Saturday night, and my friend Steve, he's watched the show a few times, he's talking about it. And he goes, "Oh yeah, he's always so optimistic," sort of thing. Yeah, that's right. And I think you made a point some months ago where you sort of said, "Well, there's so much going on in the world that is pessimistic.
Yep.
Why let football become pessimistic? So why not, be optimistic for football?" And I must admit, I do struggle at times to be optimistic.
We all do. I even struggle to take my own words on board.
And I know some of my match predictions have been on the negative side, but that's basically through experience.
Called being rational sometimes.
Yeah. But no, big up to there. No, I mean that's the new word, isn't it? Big up. We should have a big up drinking competition. But
you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You won't remember the next day. You certainly won't.
No, it's been good, and I guess I guess the elephant in the room is the Newcastle takeover. If we get back to football things. Mm-hmm. And I have to say, I really agree with what Philip was saying about it. I'll admit with you, I'm not so much the person. I'm never going to follow Tottenham again if we get taken over by Arabs or whoever it might be. But it is a moral dilemma, and
it is, and it makes it uncomfortable.
Yeah, because I could go on about human rights abuses that we've talked about, But if Spurs got taken over and won the league, I'd probably be jumping up and down in the street like everyone else. So it's just one of those awful things that you sort of do wonder. And actually, someone made the point the other day that when you get taken over by billionaires, no matter who they might be, the first title is always the one where you'll really enjoy it. But then after that, when you start winning them, you think, well, actually, why are we winning?
Doesn't taste as sweet.
Exactly, and it's the old, Harry Kane thing, going to Man City to win trophies. Well, what's the trophy at Man City going to feel like to him compared to winning one at Tottenham? And that's, it's difficult. I would say that I think that Daniel Levy, to get Daniel Levy out or to get him to do something, I think you have to go, one, for his ego, and two, you have to get him in the news because he doesn't like the limelight. Same with Joe Lewis. They don't like the limelight. So you've got to get them out there. And everyone's gone on about the protest. Oh, there's only 20 people. But if one TV outlet sees that and broadcasts it, then people start asking questions. Oh, what are they protesting? There's 60,000 people there, and they're protesting. Why are they protesting? And that's, I think, the idea. That's the idea behind the protests, is to get that sort of a little bit of coverage and go from there. It's difficult to get ENIC out of Tottenham. I was on a podcast on Sunday, Spurs U Asian TV, which you may have
yeah.
And they had a guy on there called Rez, and I don't know any more about him. Just this guy called Rez, and he had some background working for the government in sort of getting legislation through, that sort of thing. So he went into the whole ownership debate about Tottenham and who owns them and all the sort of shareholders and that sort of thing. It's very difficult to get ENIC out of the club. What you can do is to get Levy sacked effectively, if you put the bottom line under it. And and then we're owned by, I think the company is Tottenham Hotspur Limited, and it's a private company, so it's not a company that it's not listed on the stock market,
right?
So you can't go in and say, oh, I want to see the books and that sort of thing.
And shareholders, so can't.
Yeah, it's not as easy as that. But it's a long podcast. But if anyone wants to have a look for it, it's actually quite interesting.
Sounds very informative, actually.
Yeah,
and I would love to get that inside take.
Yeah, it was. It certainly taught me a few things and that. But what I will say about Daniel Levy is that he had an advantage, and we did as Tottenham fans. He had an advantage in that he could always point at Ashley and say, "Oh, well, he's worse than me," and we could always point at Newcastle and say, "Well, they're worse off than we are." But now that's changed. Now that's completely changed, and now Newcastle aren't worse off than we aren't worse. Newcastle aren't worse off than we are. So that's got to affect him. That's got to affect the ego, and he surely must see that now. They must see that. Now we're not going to be able to spend millions and millions of pounds, but we need to do something in January. I know January is a bad window, but we need to do something in January because come the summer when they've got all their funds in place. And I think Chris might have said this earlier on tonight, and he was spot on. they'll be bidding for players that we'll be bidding for. But they'll be able to say, worth 80 million? Yeah, there you go. There's your 80 million.
Especially if Levy's also bidding 60, right? Then they'll just say,
exactly. Yeah. And that's why we have to try and do something. And Paratici could well be the answer, but it's on the purse strings. Paratici is, I mean, okay, we don't know him. I don't know him, but he's got to be that person that's got to put some sort of sense into Daniel Levy and sort of say, look, we need to be spending money. We need to be speculating a little bit and taking a few risks, because once Newcastle get spending, and they'll be out there, they'll win the title in the next 5 years. It's almost guaranteed. It'll take time because they got to get the players in, they got to get a team, they got to get the right manager. So it will take time. So now we've got to take advantage of that by actually trying to put the boat out and buy a few players and just at least try and get it while we can, because we were. Chelsea got all the money. Well, we're behind them. Then Man City got all the money. We're behind those two. Now Newcastle got the money. We're behind those three. Plus your Man Uniteds and your Liverpool. So it could be a very, very dodgy future. And what people are saying about boycotting the games, well, you're totally right, David. People want, the season ticket waiting list is 1,600 people on there, and probably more. So no one's going to give up their season ticket.
I'd never ask anyone to either. I'd never.
Yeah, exactly. And
there's people, like you said, been waiting for so long, and some of them have been handed down through generations.
Yeah,
you'd never ask one to give them up.
But what can happen is it'll be done by natural attrition. Is that Tottenham get worse and worse and worse, and then people stop going.
Yes.
Because they're not going to watch, because teams is doing bad. So they must see that. They must see that. And, I'm just hoping that someone will talk some sort of sense and we'll start to. It's going to take time. And we all, I've said many, many times it's a transitional season, but it's going to take time. But they just got to hope. And it's the hope that kills you, as someone said, that we get out there, because I don't think Enid will be gone anytime soon. But any publicity, or any bad publicity we can give Daniel Levy or Joe Lewis, who doesn't like the limelight, you never see him at the ground very rarely, do you?
But this is the thing, though. This is the thing, Brad. And I've had this realization, especially over the last week, is they don't need the media. They don't need media coverage. They're the biggest media in the world. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and many more like it. It's the biggest media companies in the world. They are. You can reach so many more people. You can put so much bad stuff. Or not bad stuff, but you can put a lot more out there, and it's giving you a free route that the media is not going to give you. Honestly, Brad, you think anything from the protests went back to America or American TV or anything spoke about? I've seen a lot of people comment who watched it over in America and said they didn't even mention it.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know that, but I know there was one American news stand there that did actually take was filming the protest, but whether they sort of felt the need, to put it there. Well, why would they? To be honest, it's they're there to film the NFL, and they're going to be sort of doing their product, they're sort of advertising their product, saying, here's the NFL, we've got to London now, blah blah blah, sort of thing. And again, it comes down to that old question about where does the money go. That I've got no problems, and I think many people have said this before. I've got no problems with putting on NFL games or putting on fights or concerts or whatever, as long as we get benefit out of it. And that's the thing. And I'm not so sure. Someone said we've been conned, and I sort of I don't believe in conspiracy theories. I'm not a conspiracy theorist person, but when people say we've been conned, I'm starting to think, maybe we have been.
Yeah.
Because the idea of this stadium was to get more people in the ground, to get more gate receipts, to be able to pay the players more, to attract players, and it's it doesn't seem to be having that effect at the moment. So
that's the thing. Used in the right way, people wouldn't have a problem with them. That's the biggest thing about it. People wouldn't have a problem with Lady Gaga singing at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They wouldn't have a problem with AJ fighting there. They wouldn't have a problem with the NFL London there. They wouldn't have a problem with it as long as you could see it going back into the football side of things, and especially with not some of the crap that we've had to endure over the last 2 seasons. That sort of way. It's just, I don't know, my man. I don't know. It's just, I'll be honest with you. I'm never going to give up. You know what I mean? I encourage nobody ever to give up.
No one should.
I'll be honest with you. I think the movement has to take a different direction, use what they've built now, but maybe take it in bit of a different direction. That's just my opinion on it. But look, who am I to give my opinion? You know what I mean? I'm not actively in the group or anything like that. I can only give my suggestions at the end of the day. But that's why I encourage everybody to do. Throw your suggestions out there. Cuva99 says 1 year on and he's telling people to share. Yeah, look, I'm turning all the gentlemen out there into ladies' men. You know, I know Brad has to walk down the road with a cane to flick the ladies away sometimes. You know, so that's what it's about. You know, Cuva, that's what it's about, my man. Look, you know, hopefully the next stage then is so some nice gear for you guys. You know, hopefully that's the next stage in creating the perfect man. But we'll wait and see, Cuba. We'll wait and see.
Exactly.
Buddy.
You know, it's two components of the perfect man. It certainly is. It's the flat cap and then the perfect grooming system on top of that. There it is, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. And also, especially ladies, you know, if you want to maybe make your man the perfect man, again, feel free. Head on over and click that link as well, like David and I said in the promo. But really, again, Cuba99 is always the comedian.
I have to comedian. I also have to make a point here, and I did put it in a chat, but the way it came out was Craig Bowler, who's on he made a really funny comment about did I miss anything? I heard that there's a film of Jack and David shaving their nuts. That's what he said. So I said, at Craig Bowler, and I put a big smiley laughing face, and I thought it was really funny. But the way it came out, then he puts about beheadings in Saudi Arabia and heads being put on spike, quite a serious comment. That came up on the chat, and the next thing that came up was me with a smiley face laughing. So
sorry, Brad.
So
that's bad timing.
Context there, guys. You know,
bad timing. Yeah. Disclaimer, everybody. Disclaimer. You know, he's explained it. You know, Brad, luckily I didn't see it, but, you know, we all trust you. We all trust you. Big yourself up, though, honestly.
I'll be honest with you, there's no need to explain anything. There's no need to explain anything anyway. Everyone knows that anyone that comes on the channel or is connected to the channel in any way, they're all good sound lads. So, you know, no need to explain anything at all.
Yeah. How's Matty getting on? Because I saw he did the North London Derby one, but I haven't seen him since. So is he still...
He's really, I think
sure. The last time I was speaking to him, he said he was going to be doing maybe 2 or 3 shows a week. But I know he is very, very busy with work. He's got a good position in his job, and he really loves it. Honestly, his job is about football. So you know what I mean. He's kind of living the perfect life at the minute, to be honest with you. But look, I'm sure Matty will be back. I'm sure he will. I always encourage him whenever I'm speaking to him. I always say to him, you know, you better come back. The people have been asking for you. People are asking where you are, you know. So, look, I think personally with work and everything else, I think he probably just needed a small bit of time to himself. I think.
Yeah,
I can't speak for Matty, you know, but that's what I gather from speaking to him anyway.
Yeah, I know he's having problems with his laptop, with the internet connection and that sort of thing, and there's nothing worse than a faulty laptop. Yeah. So hopefully he'll sort that one out. It's been an interesting year, David. It's been a good year. I think we're all doing stuff that we never thought we'd be doing a year ago. You know,
Brad, did you ever think you'd be on YouTube and going on to Spurs quizzes and stuff like that?
Not at all. You know? I haven't. Brian Daigle was chatting to me at the Villa game, and he said, "Oh, have you been recognised yet?" I said, "Well, no, I haven't." He said, "Oh, yeah, someone came to me the other day and said, oh, hello, you're that guy from YouTube," sort of thing.
Yeah, do you know what? It is mad. I got a couple of times when I went over for the Carabao Cup final to host a watch along for the boys so they could go to the game. And fair play to the boys as well. You know, commendable effort to get me over there. You know, especially jumping through all the hoops to try and get me over there with the pandemic and everything else. So absolutely amazing. Big up to We Are Tottenham TV for that. But you know, look, I got it around at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I walked around it just to have a look. And then when I was down at Wembley the next morning, I got a couple of people as well. And, do you know what's mad, actually? Do you know what I found was the maddest part is some people who were there, and I'm like, they're like, I absolutely love the channel, big yourself up and whatever. And I'm like, oh, yeah, who are you from the comments? Because I'd like to think I remember most people's names from the comments and things they said and stuff like that. And some people that are just like, look, you don't see me in the comments, but I listen. I listen. I'm listening, and it's mad, it's mad. And look, I'll be honest with you, it's not something you could probably ever get used to, But look, I enjoy it. The fact that people can come up and and speak to me and all. I'm always approachable, you know what I mean? And I'll always sit there and have a good laugh with you or go for a pint with you or whatever, you know. So when I am next over there, I encourage as much as the Harris Army to get together and we'll go on one.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, as I said, the night out we had last after Chelsea game was brilliant. It's sort of seeing these people that you only sort of see on screens, you know, and sort of getting to meet them, and you know, and everyone was really, really nice and friendly and approachable, and you know, sort of thing. And yeah, no, it was great, and yeah, we should. I'm looking forward to you guys coming over. Definitely, we'll.
That'd be a riot. That'd be a riot. Jack, come here. You've been silent. How have you found the whole YouTube journey? And you know, obviously, it's not something you ever thought you were doing like me, like you'd ever be doing like myself and Brad. You know, how have you found it?
No, I think Brad, what he just said, you could say that again. I certainly do not think that would be the case. That would be something I would be doing so often. You know, if you asked me a year ago, but I guess the pandemic, and we brought that up, and you know that watch along, I think on flatcapeurotalk, Dave, where we did kind of talk about more or less our journeys there, and.
The Champions League game, was it?
Yeah, it was. It might have been. Yeah, I think it was a Champions League game. It wasn't a very good Champions League game, unfortunately. So I think that's why we were kind of just talking about that stuff. And exactly it. You know, I really didn't think that I would be, you know, this far into it. I really thought it would just be kind of a quick, you know, dip my toe in the water and then kind of just get out. And it's been a ride. And honestly, it is the dream. As much as it's been very, very hard work, it also is the dream. And to be honest, Dave, I don't think it'd be able to be offered to me ever again. And Sanuska, someone who's an absolute legend, she said things happen for a reason, or, you know, whatever it is. And also as well, you know, to a degree, we all kind of have to hit the pandemic. A lot of people were down. A lot of people didn't know where to go. A lot of people didn't know what their future, you know, lied for them. And
weren't they, you know,
it's all the case that, you know, sometimes, like she said, things happen for a reason, and I'm glad that I was able to keep the faith. But it certainly is. It's still kind of, you know, pinching yourself every day kind of moments for sure. And honestly, yeah, it's still certainly a huge ride. Certainly is a huge ride.
And I just want to add as well, just because I don't want to sound big headed, and I just want to make sure everybody knows that I didn't get into this to be recognized whatsoever. I couldn't care about that. I just got into it because I love Tottenham, and I just wanted to have discussions that nobody else I thought was really having, to be honest with you. Yeah. And, you know, give my frank and upfront and honest, kind of like a bulldog approach. You know what I mean? I don't really think about things. I just speak, you know, and stuff like that. But look, it's been good. It's been good. It's been an absolute ride. And, you know, like I said, meeting so many people that span through different generations have also been amazing. You know, meeting kids all the way through to the likes of Philip, and even older again, the likes of Arthur, you know, when Arthur was around and stuff like that. And, you know, it's been absolutely amazing. The journey has been absolutely amazing. And look, we're all here, you know, me, you, Jack, everyone that's tuning in. The one love, it's Tottenham Hotspur. It's brought us all together. And that's one reason why you should never fall out of love with the club.
Yeah. No, totally agree. And going back to the point about not going to the games, I think okay, we do criticize the players for not giving their heart and soul and that sort of thing, but by being at the games, if you're not supporting the club, then you're actually being a bit harsh on the players, because it's not their fault what Daniel Levy does or doesn't do, you know. So if you don't go to the games, you're not supporting them. So it's, you know, I feel that you need to support the players because they're in the main doing their best. You know, okay, sometimes it doesn't work out, but in the main they're trying their best. You know, and so so we need to do that as well. But I just the problem is I just keep seeing like the stadium behind you, the backdrop with Tadeiros to do, and I'm thinking we're not doing that at the moment. You know, it's and that's the thing that annoys me more than anything is that look, the stadium, great idea, the training ground, great idea. I don't mind the fights and the NFL and that, but you've got to pump the money back into the football team, because at the moment the football team seems to be at the bottom of the pile. It's all about, the brand, the Tottenham brand and all this sort of thing. And the real estate, if you like, and that, and the actual football team, which is the reason we all follow Tottenham Hotspur, that's the main reason we follow Tottenham Hotspur, for the actual football. And that seems to be ignored. And I would just like someone like Daniel Levy or the board to actually watch one of these live streams, and see what people are saying. But, whereas a year or so ago, I used to think Oh no, he's from Tottenham. He wants the club to do well. I'm not so sure now. I really am not so sure. And it's really sad
fraudulent.
to
see. It is.
That this great club. I worked it out. I saw it. Since I've been supporting Tottenham Hotspur, 1971 they won the League Cup. 1972 they won the UEFA Cup. 1973 they won the League Cup. 1981 they won the FA Cup. 1982 they won the FA Cup. 1984 they won the UEFA Cup. 1991 they won the FA Cup.
All off the dome, Brad. There you go.
Yeah, and then sometime after that, Enoch got involved, and they've won one trophy in 21 years.
Yeah.
And you can throw all the criticism about not spending this money or spending that money. That is the one fact that no one can deny that says it all. Under your ownership, under your stewardship, we've won one trophy in 21 years.
Just to play a bit of devil's advocate. Now, I don't believe this. I'm just playing devil's advocate for the sake of the debate. But there are some people out there who would say, but that's been made harder for Enoch and Levy to get the trophies because the likes of Abramovich coming in, United with their massive takeover, of course, City then over the years with that massive takeover, that it's been harder to compete and harder to get their hands on trophies. What would you say to that? And do not shoot me down in the comments. I do not believe this. I'm just playing devil's advocate for the sake of a debate.
Well, doesn't seem to do Arsenal any harm. I mean, they've been shit for 5 years, and yet they've won 3 FA Cups in that time.
Yeah,
Leicester hasn't done them any harm. Okay, they won the title. That was a one-off. That'll probably never happen again. It was when Man City and Chelsea were rebuilding, and I guess we were a surprise package that season as well. But it hasn't done them any harm. So. You could, again, the old devil's advocate, you could argue that but for a little bit of luck, we could have won 6 or 7 trophies in Pochettino's time. The amount of semi-finals and 2 or 3 finals we were in. So you could argue that maybe we didn't have that bit of luck that we needed at the time. Matic having that shot from about 90 yards away in the cup semi-final, and hence the ball game, he hits that ball and there it goes. And, so you could argue that. But again, we didn't rebuild. You've always got to strengthen when you're strong. That's right. The key to any decent team, whether it's football, rugby, anything. You strengthen when you're strong. And we never did that. We had a cracking team in 2017. The best Tottenham team I've ever seen in my lifetime. And yet we didn't build on that. And that's to me is the really sad thing about it. It really is, and the best manager we've had, and he got sacked. And it's just really, really sad. And the one trophy in 21 years is I think that's the testament to
what they'll be remembered for, Brad. Unfortunately,
exactly.
But do they really care? Do they really care? Are they really going to hear them opinions when they're sitting out on their yacht in the middle of the Bahamas, or what I mean? Tottenham, are they really going to care what legacy they left? No, they're not.
Only insofar as it might, if it keeps them in the job, Yeah. So, in that respect, and as I said, 2 or 3 years ago, I probably would have thought that Levy did want the club to do well, but and cared for the club like we do. But now I really don't think that's the case. It is what it is.
Look, the thing is, Brad, he can convey he loves the club as much as he does. And look, maybe he does, who knows? But at the end of the day, one thing you can't deny is he puts out these videos, makes promises in match programs and stuff like that, and then does every other movement against exactly what he said he was going to do. So, he can say he loves the club, but unfortunately, it's that old saying, actions speak louder than words. And unfortunately, his actions show you exactly what his thoughts are. Look, I've said this a number of times, and once us fans were starting to be called consumers, you knew you were on a losing battle. Unfortunately, you know what I mean. You just knew. You're not fans, you're consumers. That's all the see as. Unfortunately, we see ourselves as fans, die-hard, passionate. People stand on the terraces, sun, rain or shine. Unfortunately, there's people like me and Jack who are not fortunate enough because of geographical locations. And vice versa. There's so many people around the world, but they all pay their money for whatever sports company that provides the games for them so that they watch. They all give up stuff to do with stuff on the family and stuff on the weekend to be able to watch Tottenham. We're fans. But what they see us as is the people that pay for the Sky stuff, the people that pay for the merch, the people that fill the seats. They don't call us fans. They call us fucking consumers. And it drives me absolutely insane.
And us that go to the games are legacy fans. It's
so crazy.
Just numbers on the spreadsheet.
But look, Brad, been a brilliant comment, man. I really appreciate the time coming on. And look,
appreciate the love as well, Brad.
Next time you're on the quiz, lad, start texting me the questions. I'll give you the answer.
Yeah. Well, actually, to be fair, I should have had. They had a round that was 10 questions, general questions on Tottenham that were quite easy, or not easy, but everyone should know them. If you got all 10 right, you get an extra 5 bonus points. But if you get one wrong, then you lose all the points you've got in that round. So and the 10 questions I didn't answer 2 because I honestly didn't know the answer. I answered 8 questions, which I thought were right. I got 1 wrong, so I'd all got 8 points, which would have taken me not to win the thing, but would have taken me up there. But I lost all those 8 points. The question I got wrong was who was the full-time manager that Pochettino took over from?
AVB.
Not Villas-Boas.
That's what I said, but it was actually
Sherwood or
Tim
Sherwood. Yeah,
my
Sherwood.
My memory was telling me that Tim Sherwood was a caretaker, but apparently he wasn't. He was actually given a 18 month.
I thought he was a caretaker. Yeah.
No, I thought he was actually given the job. No.
Yeah, he was actually given an 18-month contract that would be reviewed at the end of the time, which, in effect was more or less saying he's a caretaker, but officially, he was the proper manager. So I got that wrong, and I actually looked at it. I thought, I'm sure that's right, and I didn't cross it out. So I lost all those 8 points. So yeah,
Brad kicking up his
next time, Brad.
Absolutely love it. Brad causing chaos. Well, look, Brad, I just want to say I appreciate all the support that you've given myself and Jack, over the year. And look, like I keep saying to everybody, none of what we're doing here can be done without you guys. So a massive thank you, Brad, and for all the time you give up to come on these fan shows and everything else. I really appreciate it.
It was a pleasure. Was a pleasure. You. And don't forget, guys, click like and subscribe.
100%.
Thank you, Brad.
Hit the notification bell.
It's definitely that notification bell. That's the best one. Absolutely the best one.
The notification bell, as soon as you hit it, it's that alarm bell looky thingy. As soon as you hit it, every time we go live, boom, check your phone. The notification will come up and it brings you straight to us.
I have one of my, when I'm working, I was working away, and I've got in the background, I've got one of my my own personal stuff that I'm doing with work stuff, and then it kind of bing, this show's on, bing, this show's on.
There you go.
Honestly, we're going to get so many people sacked. So we'll end up getting so many people sacked. It's like, oh, you're here all the time now. What's going on? Yeah, I was watching you guys and work and lost my job. That's honestly, no one ever gets sacked. You can watch us after. It'll always be left on YouTube. You can watch us after. Do not get sacked from your job whatsoever. But look, Brad, my man, I really appreciate it. And of course, Brad Legend came up with the Irish Hotspur song as well. What a man. I still listen to it, Brad. I really love it, my man.
No problems. No, have a good night. Well, have a good day actually, because it's 20 past midnight here. So
yeah, I think I might hit the hay. I don't know. I might play one game of FIFA before I go to bed. I'm not sure. I'm not feeling well. I'm not sure what I should be doing, to be honest with you.
Big up, Brad. Really do appreciate you, and also really appreciate all the love as well. And also thanks for reminding David of his year birthday. I was just gonna say, I've been waiting for him to recognize that maybe he didn't want to, like a lot of people that are humble about birthdays. But actually, Brad, big yourself up for that. Really do appreciate that.
Anytime.
Big yourself
big
up.
up, Brad. You enjoy yourself, my man. You enjoy yourself.
Good night, guys. Come on, you Spurs.
Everybody give Brad a big up in the comments. Absolutely great call, I have to say. I really enjoyed all the calls today. Some great discussions, I have to say. It's been a really good one, and it's really got me through, thinking about from being sick and everything else. I've really enjoyed it. So thank you, everybody, who's come on and everybody in the comments. So look, me and Jack, we always keep an eye on the comments and see what people are saying. So Thank you, everybody in the comments as well, guys. Really, really do appreciate it. Look, we've a few super chats to get to. We'll get through these. And then look, we'll let people go off to bed, I suppose. We don't want them to be waking up late for work tomorrow, or
no hostages.
Waking up late to bring the kids to school, and they're going to school without their Weetabix. So we better let them go. But David says, boys, thank you for this past year. I love having you on while working from home. Now end the show before Alex D comes on after 3 hours. Harris Army, go to Manscaped and treat yourself.
Oh, what a comment.
Jack, I let you take this one.
David, I just want to say, first of all, I'm very humbled that you even remember, that I came on We Are Time TV. That's very, very, very nice of you. Again, I was quite shy. Still to this day, sometimes I am quite shy going on there and feel a bit nervous always going on there. It is the Behemoth channel. But Ben and Sim are the nicest guys in the world. Again, they gave me the confidence, as well as David, of course, gave me more than confidence. But I would say, David, that's very incredible that you remembered that, and really appreciate that. Listen, as much as maybe people thought, I was really angry with Alex with the 3 hours, it really actually had to do with the fact that I was being a bit hangry, and I had to make that special carbonara with the missus, and I really did not want to be eating it from a dog bowl that night. And what happened was, I was very, very worried that was about to be the case. And we all know that, when Alex Davies comes on, you're going to be preparing for a debate. And I just knew I had to pick the food over the debate. And maybe I was just, taking that out on him, my hunger. I was taking out my hunger on him. And Alex and I are always, chatting back and forth about, that sort of thing. And it's really, it is, even right now, if Alex were to come on, we'd welcome him as always with open arms. We love Alex over here. So, maybe tonight, Alex, if you could hold off, that would be nice. Again, I am getting a bit hungry, but I won't be certainly as, short with you as I was last time. And I am looking forward to that debate as well. And thank you, David, for also giving us that beautiful Manscaped plug. And again, you are treating yourself, everybody. You're treating yourself to a fantastic experience. Like I said, guys, I was just, again, grooming areas that I never thought were possible I could do on my own, going to places, in the male body that I never thought I could before. It really is, the best. It really is. It actually is incredible that Manscaped also gave us, the products for us to test out, the products for us to use ourselves. And so all of our reactions are actually very, very genuine from our own experiences. I even said to Dave, he tried to call me on one day, and I said, listen, Dave, I'm having having an hour to myself here, doing the full experience. And I would just say, guys, if you have that need, if you need that, kind of that sensation, if you need that, maybe that misses, or, that special someone, in your life, to maybe to wow, maybe to just show them, look what I did, I would say head on over to Manscaped, definitely. And also, but David, as always, really do appreciate you, because again, to appreciate your support. Your support, it never goes unnoticed, especially on both channels as well. I really do appreciate you, brother. Really do appreciate it.
I have to say, David, I really do appreciate the support as well, my man. You're always in here, always here, and I really do appreciate it. Look, David, make sure you tune in Wednesday for Jack versus Alex in the debate about Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Of course, Alex has a few things that he doesn't think Pierre-Emile Højbjerg is good enough, and of course, Jack does. So it should be a very, very lively debate. It should be very lively. But look, with Manscaped, what I will say to people, another reason why you need to get over there, look, guys, the winter's coming in. That means rain, cold, snow, wind. You don't want to be outside. You're going to be inside with that special love of your life. So why not be prepared all winter long and get that package, get that Lawnmower 4.0. Like I said, no one likes hair on their meat, guys. You know what I mean? So make sure you get that package. And as well, Christmas is coming around the corner. And trust me, this is the one I'm most impressed with. It is the ball deodorant. I'll be honest with you, right? There is no better way.
Never thought it would be a thing.
Treat yourself on Christmas morning, once you get out of the shower, and splashing a bit of that baby on. And look, you can say, I'll wait till December to order it. Too late. We're giving you 20% off. 20% off.
For this month
alone.
Get
over and get it now. But trust me, once you get that shower, whether it's Christmas Eve or Christmas morning after you've opened the presents, no better way to say Happy Christmas to your two boys than slapping a bit of nice deodorant on there. I'm telling you, guys. I'm telling you. Spurs squad, big up. It's just, I think it's a hippo with the thumbs up. That's what it is.
Yeah, and it's actually saying GG as well. He's saying GG. So Spurs squad, as always, get your GGs in the chat, and really do appreciate you, Spurs squad, as well. Really do appreciate that. And also, again, thank you for all the support, as always, Spurs squad. Really do appreciate that. And You know, I like that super sticker, especially. I haven't seen that one before, Spurs Squad. So good pick as well. Really did enjoy that one. And yeah, again, thank you for all the support like everyone else.
No, 100%. Big yourself up, Spurs Squad. Really appreciate that, my man. Really appreciate that.
I think it's
big
like a big clap as well. It's like a
Yeah,
side clap as well over the shoulder.
It feels like I'm giving myself a pat on the back. Big up, Spurs Squad. Socrates says, happy birthday, David, the Irish Hotspur. Look, my birthday is actually not until the 4th of November. It's not another way away, but in terms of the channel, yeah, look, I'll be honest with you, I forgot about it. Look, me and Jack, we've so much going on in terms of content we want to put out, keeping up with the content we are putting out and everything else. I completely forgot about it. I'll be honest with you, I completely forgot about it. But look, you know, thanks to Brad for bringing it up. And of course, he says, and Jack and all the Flat Cap Army, your streams were phenomenal for keeping us going all during the lockdown and the summer. Onwards and upward, lads. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Irish Army. Wow. Socrates, my man. Look, you've been instrumental to the channel.
Yeah.
You really have, and look, you've given us many good ideas. Of course, super chats and stuff like that. You know, you've been absolutely incredible to us, my man. And look, I can only say thank you as well. You know, thank you so much for everything. And look, as far as keeping people going during the lockdown and that, you guys kept me going. You know, you have, whether you like to believe it or not. Look, you know. You've kept me going. You've kept us all going. You know, that the fact that you can have an outlet, people to talk to. You know, you're in lockdown. You're already pissed off and bored and depressed and whatever else. And then, you know, the football's not going your way and, you know, and everything else. So, honestly, you guys have helped me probably more than what I've ever helped anybody. You know, so, honestly, thank you. Thank you so much. And, look, hopefully it is onwards and upwards. Look. It can't happen without you guys continuing to support us the way you do. But me and Jack have big plans, and hopefully we can get there someday. You know, that's all I'm going to say on that.
Brian C, big yourself up, really big yourself up. And again, thank you for wishing David, you know, the happy birthday. He deserves that happy birthday. And, you know, he's only a year old, you know, he's still, you know, in the YouTube diapers, as you might say, but he is going to grow up and, you know, and, you know, definitely still, you know, be able to do so much more, I feel like. And again, Brian C, from the very beginning, I've appreciated all the support that you've given me as well, Brian C. You've really made, you know, like a lot of people in the Harris Army, you've made me feel very welcomed. You've made me feel very, very at home with you guys as well. I mean, you guys have provided me a lot of home, a lot of support, and even, you know, as well, you know, being in also a new city that I am, you know, I made a big move with the missus because she got a great job over here. And, you know, I kind of, you know, have only now like had a few friends kind of move into this big city, but you guys have practically also been my huge friends during lockdown as well. So do understand that, really do get that. And Brian C, really do appreciate all the support that you've shown me and also welcoming into the Harris Army. I know it's a very welcoming place, but a lot of you guys have made me feel a whole lot better during the lockdown, especially. And again, it's only thanks to you guys. And as well as the summer was tough as well. You know, the fact that we had to go through the lockdown in summer, again, I really do appreciate it, Brian C. And as much as, you know, maybe we helped you, believe me, you helped me. You really did. It wasn't easy. The lockdown wasn't easy for any of us, and we all helped each other. And so, Brian C, big yourself up. Try to get a bit into that Socrates kind of a you know, emotional logic and philosophy there. So big yourself up, Brian C. Really big yourself up.
No, big yourself up. And look, guys, maybe you might do an hour stream or a 45-minute stream or something like that. And look, maybe you guys can put in your best moments, your favorite moments, or whatever else, and we can all just sit there and you know, maybe celebrate together. You know, go out, get your 6-pack, buy some beers. You know, maybe we can all just sit there and enjoy what we've all accomplished. Not what me and Jack have accomplished, what we've all accomplished as the Irish Hotspur, as a family.
As the Irish Hotspur.
You know, as one, guys. So, look, let's keep it going. We're the best fucking army on YouTube. We're the best fan base behind Tottenham Hotspur. Let's fucking keep smashing it, guys. Let's keep doing this. Everyone all beating the same drum. Let's fucking have it. But Brian Socrates, my man, I really appreciate that. I really do, my man. And John Fitzpatrick, email me, my man. Email me and I'll sort you out, lad. I'll sort you out and we'll get you on one of these fan shows, buddy. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, John boy. But look, guys, I think we've come to a natural ending there. So, look, once again, thank you so much to everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much to everybody putting your comments in the comment section. Thank you to all the guests that did come on and giving up their time to come on and have their say on all things Tottenham. A massive thank you to Jack for sitting here for 3.5 hours with me. A massive thank you to my body for holding up for 3.5 hours.
I was going to say,
and a massive thank you to all the super chatters out there who's helped us financially. And if there has been people that have gone over to the to Manscaped, thank you so much too. It's really appreciated. And of course, guys, you know, it's never too late. It's the offer runs for a month, 20% off. You do want to get over. Everything is in the description below and pinned in the chat. Manscaped.com, code FlatCapArmy, 20% off plus free shipping. What more do you want? But look, Jack, anything you want to say before we end off, my man?
As a correction, maybe it is just Flat Cap, just nice and simple. But, you know, it is the Flat Cap Army and the Harris Army that are going to be there, that are going to be in there putting in that code. And as well, everybody, you know, you've already helped us out tremendously, but anybody that, you know, you feel like does maybe need, you know, that special kind of grooming, I would say it really does actually help David and I a lot. It really does help David and I a lot because we want to continue this partnership. You guys don't understand how much we do rely on your support, you know, via likes, via comments, super chats, just recommending us. It goes a long way. And we would like to, you know, maybe get a bit of extra help just from a sponsor. And Manscaped have already been very, very gracious in giving us this opportunity, but we really do depend on you guys. If you can, if you're able to, you know, maybe continue to, you know, especially for yourselves, I would say it's not even as much, you know, for David and I would say it's also really helps out yourselves. And so again, we appreciate all the support that you always continue to give us. But I would say again, you know, if you are maybe in that need of that, you know, that upgrade, you know, and becoming the perfect man, or as well, you know, ladies who wants to also make their man, you know, the perfect man, or even gentlemen, if you have a special someone in your life that you want to make a bit more perfect, you know, I would just say definitely head on over to that link for manscaped.com. It's basically everywhere in this stream tonight. You can't miss it. But we would really appreciate it. And it is the code FlatCap, free shipping, 20% off. You definitely are getting a deal this century. And I would say as well, it does help David and I a lot as well. Really does help David and I a lot.
No, it really does. You have no idea. But look, even if they don't take it up after the month, you know, fair play to you guys because we never even got to this stage.
We never would have been approached. We never would have even gotten there.
Look, if this is the only sponsorship you ever get, I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed doing it and putting it together, I have to say. So look, you know, once again, this stream has been sponsored by Manscaped, as of many over the next month. But the Harris Army, we'll see you all soon. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Big up the Harris Army.